her. Way in the back.
They keep her away from the camera.
That's Don, way in the background.
It's no better? Oh, my God.
No, it's a little better. And listen, the fact of the matter is we have working video with Don on the road. I'm not going to complain. He's getting closer and closer. We're doing pretty good here, Alan. We hear him. We see his beautiful white hair on his head, which I will describe only as that. And I feel good about it.
All right. You think this can work?
This is going to have to work.
Now,
yes.
Now, I will say,
I think
looking
he's
at
showing
the
off
shot,
the suit.
You could make the case you guys are a little too close.
You could.
And that I'm actually in a position that's a little bit more the norm. But whatever, we'll make it work.
So if I go back here, now I'm a little more like it's
There you
closer
go.
to Don's level. Does that look better?
That looks fantastic. Now, Peter just got to step back.
Peter, now it's up to you. Now I need a mic stand. Peter, can you do it? This is look. We're in a new world now. Audio doesn't mean anything anymore. What we talk about means nothing. It's all about, does it look good? That's all that matters. All anybody cares about is how does it look.
All the time.
Is it
it's not
aesthetically
radio.
appealing?
You don't do radio.
No.
This is content.
You make content.
This is content. This is what it's about.
I hate the word content.
Don, a great man once said, how many chances you get?
Here we go.
Aaron Boone was, first of all, Joel Sherman I thought was fantastic in the Yankee media availability today. Because he asked the questions that are the ones you say, how come no one is asking this? And he asked, they were tough questions. He asked Aaron Boone the question about why should fans and everyone else believe that those are in charge of this organization, the hierarchy, those are leading the way, can lead the way to a championship. His answer sounded like a guy that wasn't sure how to answer the question. Take a listen to this.
I don't know. The reality is we've had a really good club in certain years, probably one of the best clubs in the league. But all I know is it's time to dust ourselves off and try and build another club that puts us in position to take a run again. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, we have a lot of really good people here, a lot of really good players, a lot of really good staff members, and a great front office that are working our tails off to put us in the best position to take our shot every year and to take a run in October and to get to October baseball and play for it. So I can't answer that because I haven't got this team to the top of the mountain. So until I do, all I can tell you is I'm confident in my ability to lead this team. I'm confident in our organization to build a team that gives us a chance to win. But ultimately, that's, I can't tell you anything to make you feel good. That ultimately it's about us winning number 28. And all I can tell you is I'm working my butt off to try and be a part of helping us bring that back.
And ultimately, what he's telling you in that cut is that we built a good enough team to win a championship. We just didn't. I don't know why. We had all the elements. We were great in the regular season. And for whatever reason, we just could not win the chip. Well, I mean, that to me it's kind of lazy analysis. Because, yeah, you had a team that was supposed to be the best in baseball, yet you lost the tiebreaker to the Blue Jays that don't have your payroll, that don't have your starting pitching, that aren't supposed to be as good as you, and yet not only were they as good as you record-wise, they dominated you in the regular season to the point that they had home field advantage in the postseason. So don't paint me like, oh, we're the best team in baseball, just stay. It's just one of those things. Well, one of those things, you ended up being a wild card team and not win your division. The answer to that question, guys, made more sense last year. When you won your division, you were the best team in the American League. You navigated through the American League to the World Series and lost, in my opinion, to a better baseball team. Yes, you kicked the ball around in that fifth inning of Game 5 and didn't look great. That answer made more sense last year. This year, no, it shouldn't. Because if you're the best team in baseball, then why are you a wild card team? Why were you dominated by one of your divisional opponents? Why did you go quietly into that good night against that playoff team? Why? So I think that his answer, guys, would have made a lot more sense last year.
I wasn't mad at this answer, actually. I got to tell you, I was, Alan, I don't know about you, I sort of felt it was honest. Like, I'm not going to try to sell you something that I know is a blatant lie. How can he tell someone that they should continue to have blind faith in this baseball team to be better when they know they're not going to be ripping everything down from the top and starting over again. There aren't going to be any major changes. I just appreciate him not feeding us complete BS. I thought it was a moment of actual humanity from Aaron Boone.
I agree. I agree with you, Peter. I think he was honest. I think he was fighting giving the BS response, right? Just, again, slapping more BS on top of, like, no one believes it anyway. He knows what's being said. He understands the narrative. And that's why I said, like Don famously said, how many chances you get.
Right.
I think even he knows, like, just think about just New York alone, let alone in baseball. How many coaches last this long without having the ultimate prize? Right? Like, eventually it just starts to where you think, all right, we got to get somebody that can get this team over the top because this guy clearly can't. That's what we all start to assume. And I think he knows that, which is why he didn't do like Brian Cashman with his assessment of the season. It wasn't good enough. I think that's the strongest comments that Cashman made about the season. But then he also reminded us about all the other good things that happened this year and the success year after year that they have. And then, of course, the famous how difficult it is to win the whole thing. And, it's easy to talk about, but those of us who are in the fight every day, it's a difficult challenge. And that's, that. See, Boone didn't want to go there, and I agree with you, Peter. I appreciated that.
Well, let's hear Cashman say that. I think they want to hear the tone of what you just said.
Let's play it.
Go ahead, Cash.
Anytime.
What did Cashman say?
Brian Cashman.
The Cashman's assessment of the season?
We've had success and failure. Obviously failed in our ultimate goal and had some success, obviously. Along the way, we had a good team that but fell short of our ultimate goal. So, I leave it for the masses to debate what it ultimately came out of. A lot of things we accomplished and players that I knew that they were fighting. They were talented, they were fighting, they were committed, but it wasn't good enough.
Good friends we had, good friends we lost along the way. Like, he's just, that's the same song every year.
But here's what I don't like about the tone. You're right. Overall, I'm not mad at Aaron Boone because it's not like it's all his fault.
No.
But there were some things I picked. I just thought it would have made more sense because you didn't win the division. You didn't give yourself the best chance in the postseason. So you weren't the best team, and that hurt you. Where last year you were at least the best team in the American League, and you lost to a better team in the Dodgers, and this was supposed to be the year you were supposed to get better. Don't matter. The fans don't matter. Who cares what they think? My owner loves me. I'm practically a relative to him. There's no way I'm going to lose my job, so shut up. That's what it came across to me, didn't it? Am I wrong?
Yeah, well,
we'll let the masses decide. Come on, Brian.
Yeah, it's always his attitude. That's the part that bothers me. But speaking of Steinbrenner, who has not spoken, at least hasn't spoken yet, Brian Cashman did reveal what conversations with Hal Steinbrenner were like. Here's what he said.
Yeah, he's frustrated, disappointed. He wants a championship here, another one, just like, for him and his family. So I'll speak on behalf of Hal and his family. They, I think, believed, not just recently, but many times that we had a chance to do something. But it's not a given. If it was a given and people who had that championship caliber gene that had punched through, if that gene was repetitive, and I'm not talking about a gene handed down from father to son, like, the great George Steinbrenner who belongs to the Hall of Fame, to his son, I'm talking about a gene of winning. There's many a great player that maybe they punched through one time, or many a great manager that's punched through and won something. And we've done it, and Hal Steinbrenner's done it, but it doesn't guarantee, it's not a given that you're going to continually do it.
It's the crapshoot argument again, isn't it?
Yep. Wanted to remind you, by the way, that they've done it. You hear him say that stuff too.
True, but
we've done it.
But again, read the room. All right. Well, the Giants were able to punch through it 3 times. Right. The Astros were able to punch through it multiple times. Red Sox multiple times. So yes, it's very difficult to win, and there's parity in baseball. We know this. All right. It's very difficult to win, and that's why we're not holding him. At least I don't. I don't think you do, to the standard of the 4 championships in 5 years, because that's not going to happen anymore. That doesn't exist. What does exist is being able to, at least since 2009, a consistent playoff team. Can you punch through once? I mean, one World Series appearance, in the last 15 years. No championships in that span of time, Alan. So I think the fans are not asking you to win every year, but can you punch through occasionally?
Well, they think that last year was getting close, right? Punching through, getting close last year. But how about what he said about the Blue Jays? This was a team that was in last place last year, and they didn't do anything significant with the roster. They got healthy. That was certainly there. Mm-hmm. You thought you had a better team. You heard, and Boone talked about it, how they were he felt like they had – this is the best team he's ever had, best roster he's ever had because of all the versatility. And yet there was one team they couldn't beat, and that's why they couldn't get out of the DS. Listen to Cashman talking about the Blue Jays.
We could not solve the Toronto Blue Jays this year. They rolled us in the regular season. They rolled us in the postseason. Bottom line, we didn't earn the right to move forward. It's as simple as that. I don't think it's about leadership. I just think it's about competition at a given moment in time. And it's for you and then the fans, obviously, that support us to judge it one way or the other.
They rolled us.
Yeah. And I mean, that's going to happen. But, you know, he didn't bring up they were in last place last year as, hey, every year is different. He's bringing up last place because, hey, we didn't finish in last place last year. We never finish in last place. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen to us. A little subtle reminder that, hey, yeah, the Blue Jays got the best of us, but, you know, what have the Blue Jays done? They haven't won since 1993. They were a last-place team last year. Again, it's measuring themselves against other teams when everybody else in the market is measuring the Yankees against themselves. So I just don't. I'm not just in love with the tone. I didn't know what to expect today. I mean, expect anything different today than we usually get. But I just because I think we all come from a place of being fans. You know, we've all covered sports now. We're a little bit jaded than the 18-year-old selves that we were when we fell in love with sports and all that. But I just don't like being condescending to the fans, as if our opinion really doesn't matter. You know, and I guess we can't get these people fired because Hal's not going to is not going to listen to us or listen to the fans in that capacity. But, you know, I just didn't like the tone, guys, especially from Brian.
Well, I think it was more Brian. I thought Boone was fine. You could tell he was conflicted. You could tell this season took a lot out of him. By the way, he still got the cough. You notice? Did you notice? He was still clearing his throat and you could remember he got sick later in the year, and it almost like he could never shake it. So I kind of feel for him a little bit because you know he's carrying this. You know he knows, like I just said before, he knows nobody gets this many chances. Like by now, in most places, there's a new manager.
And the reason I'm not going to get crazy is just because I don't think it was his fault.
No. I don't either.
You know, I'm sure there are fans who are going to tell you he should have done this, he should have done that, but I don't think this is a managerial problem. I don't. I think this has always been a roster issue with this team, in not just being light in certain areas, because I don't think they are. I think they're very strong in a lot of areas, but do they have enough winners? Do they have enough guys that can handle New York?
You know what? That was asked. It's funny that was asked as well about having a team. I think, again, Joel asked that question about the having that team that's at its A game in October, which is the only time that matters. Don't we always talk about this when they're playing well in the regular season? We always say it doesn't matter. Cashman's answer to having a team playing its A game in October is interesting. Listen.
You have to fire on all cylinders. That means you got to pitch to the best of your abilities consistently. That clearly didn't happen in the Toronto series. And you got to hit to your best of your abilities. You know, the sample sizes are so small that, you know, when opportunities present themselves, you have to capitalize. Some guys who consistently hit in the postseason didn't hit in the division series. Some guys who have people question whether they can hit in the postseason did produce. You need it all at the same time. You need everybody from your rotation to your bullpen to your start position player group on the lineup side to bring your A game.
Well, Brian, I appreciate the definition of clutch. All right, I think we know what it takes, what it looks like. We just want to know why you don't get players like that.
Yeah,
because I really do believe it never occurred to them that Devin Williams wasn't a New York guy. He looked at the numbers. He's going to be a good closer here, and it never seemed to fit.
And you know what, Don? I have heard that they actually do put time into the background of a player, his mental makeup, and all that stuff. I've heard they actually do that.
Well, I don't doubt that they do it. I would question whether they do it A, enough, or B, are they asking the right questions?
Yeah.
Because, listen, I'm not trying to say New York is is better. It's just different.
It's harder.
You could
tougher.
handle pressure. There may be numbers, there may be stats to say this guy can come through in the clutch. This guy can handle the hot temperature. But New York is just different. Like, you might be able to handle it, but then you get to New York, it's like, whoa, I thought I could handle it, but man, this is different. And when you saw Devin Williams walk into that room, go, why are all these reporters here?
Yeah.
Like, because it's New York, man. What you experienced in the divisional round of the playoffs last year, or the wild card last year against the Mets, that's every day as a Yankee.
Yep.
Yankees playing the Royals on a Tuesday in May for a Brewer is like Game 7 of the World Series every single day.
Mm-hmm.
The fans, 40,000 plus every single day, calling you every name in the book, wishing you, hoping you die, walking down the street and people, loving you and asking for your autograph, but somebody in the background screaming, "You suck!" Like, and that's, I don't. Hey, listen, we've lived in New York all our lives. I don't know if I'd be able to handle playing here with that kind of scrutiny, right?
Yeah, but I know, and everyone gets sold on all the upside of it, but it's so hard to get to the point where you get the upside. So you then have to just deal. What you're going to get is all the stuff Don just mentioned. All the scrutiny is there. All the intense conversation, worse than any other market in all of sports. But Don, don't worry. If you win a championship, well, then it's all peaches and cream. Well, look around, guys. I don't see the championships falling out of the sky.
No,
so it's
and
just
also,
all the other stuff.
I'm describing New York. It's probably times 10 to be a Yankee. Because in the other places, when you win the championship, you're a part of forever. With the Yankees,
good point.
Yeah, you might win a championship.
You're part of the next 5 years.
You're not Jeter.
Yeah,
but
at least you're allowed in the room now.
You're allowed in the room. Like Alex Rodriguez, he's allowed in the room.
You're allowed in the room. But if you don't have a ring, you're not allowed in the room.
Yeah.
Again, 800-919-3776. A lot of people want to talk about this, as we expect. But there was some news that came out of it. Not so great, by the way. So we already knew that Garrett Cole, although he is throwing off a mound a little bit, that he's going through that right now, which is good. But clearly not going to be ready for opening day. That was stated. We kind of knew that. What we didn't know was that Carlos Rodon was going to miss the start of next season because he had some bone spurs in the elbow, some loose bodies. He had to get it clean out in the elbow, and so now it feels like he won't be ready for the very start of the season. It doesn't mean he's going to miss a ton of it, but he won't be ready for the start of the season. Then you also got Clark Schmidt, also another player, another pitcher going through it. As we know, you won't have him. So you remember a couple of weeks ago when I said I'm actually looking forward to 2026? Now it's like, where are they going to be in the second half of the year in 2026 if they finally can get everybody healthy?
Right.
But the arms, not healthy. And then some other controversy, Anthony Volpe.
Yeah.
So all year long they were telling us that shoulder thing and the labrum thing, it's not affecting his play, that he can play through it. Well, then he had surgery, as we found out, and now there's like mixed signals from Boone and Cashman on whether or not it did impact his play. But what we know is he will not be ready for the start of the season. So there's a lot of questions about that. It brings back memories of Anthony Rizzo didn't have a concussion until he did have a concussion, and other times in the past where the Yankees have had players playing through things until the end of the season when we found out that there was a bigger issue. Good news, though, on this front. Aaron Judge, his arm issue, cleared. He has no issues. He's not going to need any offseason surgery. That is a one positive, Don. But the injury news was also a bit of a damper on this press conference that already felt like a morgue.
Yeah, the Volpe thing is irritating because we were told it's not affecting his play, and now it sounds like it did affect his play. So that doesn't feel great. And you also worry about these pitchers that aren't going to be ready to start the season. Well, how long will it take them to become what they're supposed to be? We've seen pitchers come back from Tommy John. It'd take a while for them to become dominant again.
Right, the ramp up.
Rodon not coming off of that kind of a surgery, but, missing spring training. So starting the year, is it going to take to May, June before he's finally able to get ramped up? And now Volpe not available. They've got it. They can pivot. They have a shortstop, but how does it affect them? And as far as the Judge guys, I'm sorry. It seems like when the Yankees first tell us about an injury, something else happens. So right now, Judge doesn't need surgery. Is that going to be something that down the road we're going to find out that wasn't 100% accurate either? So even if I'm a Yankee fan, that's good news for now, but I'd still kind of wait and see how that ends up turning out at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, and the Stanton stuff, too, elbow-wise, it doesn't sound like there's anything that they know of, at least right now. But you're right, Don, throughout an off-season, anything can change. But still, those to me are the hits. It was a very long press conference with both Boone and Cashman speaking in separate times, the media throwing questions at them. I thought Joel Sherman was fantastic with the questions, because sometimes you got to ask the tough questions that do sound kind of like they're really challenging, but you got to get those answers, and he got them, and he sought them, and those were the kind of things that you wanted to get out of this press conference. I just don't know if as a Yankee fan, there was any satisfaction with any of the answers that you got today. Not that you would have expected. We got lots of calls to get to, 800-919-3776. We're going to do that coming back. We also, speaking of the injury front, I got a concern about something involving the Knicks. They have their last preseason game tomorrow night. It's usually the dress rehearsal. Next week, in less than a week, the regular season will begin for them. Something Mike Brown said yesterday that caught my attention that you need to hear, along with some injury updates with not only the loss of Brogdon, but perhaps who knows who's going to be in the lineup tomorrow night. So busy day. Damian Woody going to join us at 5:30. We're just getting started here. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg on ESPN New York.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Listen up, football fans. At Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. Already a pretty bad ride on the LIE eastbound in Queens. A crash by Casino Boulevard taking out the right lane. Involves a couple of tractor trailers. You're crawling there from right out of the Midtown Tunnel. You stay on the brakes eastbound heading into Nassau County. Not moving much at the Whitestone Bridge getting into Queens. Looks like a crash right before the span on the Bronx side. Traffic is stopped on the southbound Hutch from Westchester Avenue. Really no easy way to the outbound George. All of your approaches are packed. Southbound Deegan, an accident just picked up right before the Cross Bronx. Still have some heavy delays there from the Mosholu on down. Inbound George, just about 5 to 10 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln about 15 to 20. Outbound Holland 30 to 40. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check Kirk Herbstreit's pregame analysis first, before talking to your brother-in-law.
In this game, the key thing to watch will be the offensive line versus their front seven. If they can get pressure without blitzing, this could be a long night.
Okay, Kirk.
I know stuff.
Ooh, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
I love the intro to this.
How do you not?
With Don the Greg and Peter Rosenberg, I'm Alan Hahn. 800-919-3776, the number. On the Yankees as they do their season wrap-up, as Aaron Boone spoke and then Brian Cashman spoke. And once again, you did not expect to hear what you wanted to hear. And a lot of fans wanted to hear that neither one of them were coming back, but we know both of them are.
Right.
It was interesting, too. Guys, when Cashman was asked about the hierarchy and the coaching and everything else, he said of Boone, I think he's a good manager. That's one I wrote down. Like, there's some that like the phrases that I write down because they catch my attention.
Right.
And that was, I think he's a good manager. Okay. Like, I don't know. I found that to be an interesting statement. Huh? Knowing that what everybody's saying, you'd think he'd might maybe pound the pulpit a little stronger than I think he's a good manager.
But is that I don't have to defend them, or is like I shouldn't have to, or why am I even bothering?
Well, he already had his back. Like the thing about him, the Cashman I'm talking about, because we've seen so many of these, and Don, you got to know this from all the years. Peter, you too. He had his back up the minute that press conference started. You know, like you could see it. He was ready for it. So I think he was feeling punchy with a lot of his answers, but he was trying to maintain he was trying to stay level with his responses without getting emotional, but you could feel every now and then a little intensity in his words. There's no doubt he knew he was facing the firing squad.
Yeah.
And so he was kind of if he could have like taken the filter off and let loose, like we saw him do the one time where it was a scrum and he was talking about Volpe and fighting back about the Volpe stuff.
Right.
I think it would have been a way more entertaining press conference.
It probably would.
He stayed very monotone instead.
I still believe that he was reprimanded for that. And that's not the Yankee way of doing things. So
you can tell. Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to do that, but will not ever do anything like that.
It was
again.
a moment, though.
But does that come from frustration, Peter? Or does it come from, I shouldn't have to be doing this? All we do is win. We're more successful than any other franchise. Why am I being questioned like this? Why are we having a press conference? People telling me how great I am.
I don't
you should
think
be handing me an award. You should be thanking me.
Take a look at what other general manager is as good as I am.
Wouldn't it be great if he did that? You should be thanking me. In fact,
right. And I like Brian. I know it sounds like I'm killing him, but I'm just tired. It's like the same old narrative every single year. But where the fans want him fired. But the mission statement's the mission statement, and you can't run it back, even though clearly that's not the mission statement anymore. But let the fans decide. Well, the fans have already decided, Brian. You can't be that tone deaf.
Pretty clear. Well, let's hear from the fans. 800-919-3776. Let's see. You know what? Corey and Manalapan is exactly where we want to begin. Go ahead, Corey.
Corey?
Silence is golden, Corey. Oh, well. Jay in Westchester. How about we try you, Jay?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
There he is. How you doing, Jay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I agree with you guys at 1%. And like I was telling whoever picked up the phone, I know they spend the money and the luxury tax was an issue, but I think it's the mindset that Cashman brings. His mindset is, hey, we're one of the most profitable companies. My bosses are happy at me. I don't think he has that instinct like his father had that we need championships. They keep putting out the same product year after year. You have to hit the home run, and that's the only way they win. They don't change up their order to bring in guys that could get on base. They just keep doing the same thing, and like repetition. It's just over and over again, expecting a different change. If you haven't gotten it in 19 years, you better try something different because it's not working.
But here's the frustrating thing. Is it not working? It's not working for a championship, but clearly you heard Brian say there are separate goals. There are levels to success. They haven't reached their ultimate goal, and clearly failing to reach the ultimate goal is not a fireable offense, but they recognize those successes. They recognize as check. So if they check 5 out of the 6, they're throwing a party. The fans are upset because 6 is the championship, but I think they're kind of happy where they are.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's where I think that as a Yankee fan, I mean, I've been a Yankee fan for over 50 years. That's where I agree, where if they don't change that mentality as like the father had, hey, it has to be championship or bust. I mean, you made it to 1 championship in 15 years. And you're happy with that? Now, if you would have told me, hey, we made it to the championship 6-7 times in the last 15 years and we just got beat by better teams, but you have us believing that you have the better team on roster and yet you're still losing, you're not even making it to the championship, that's what I have the problem with.
Yeah.
I think their goal is set wrong.
Well, Jay, it's a different standard. Everybody's saying it. Thanks for the call. And that's, again, why fans are frustrated, because I do think the expectations of the fan base is no longer the expectations of the franchise. Right. And Cashman always reiterates how, the Steinbrenner family, they're about winning championship. And they carry over from the father and what he's like. He acts like it's all the same mindset, but it's not. And Don, you perfectly explained why it's not, because there was a time where George had to win a championship. He had to sell tickets. He had to he had to bring the brand back from the dead when he bought the franchise. And then it got to his head and the 80s happened. But there was a time, though, there was a desperation to win because it was about making money. But now it's the highest valued franchise in North America, they and the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. And similarly, both franchises live off of A, the history and the past, and B, the fact that they are immensely popular, and they know it's a brand that's just never going to go away. And so they live that way instead, and the rest of us live in the past of, hey, this brand is supposed to be about winning titles, not just 33 straight years of winning seasons.
Now, don't get me wrong. They want to win a title. All right,
I think they do too,
they're disappointed they don't win, but I think the mission statement, the new mission statement for this franchise is be consistently good. Because they constantly remind you, the Blue Jays were in last place. Oh, did you see all those losing seasons the Red Sox had before they won? Have you looked at the times the Giants didn't win? When San Francisco won in 10, 12, and 14, take a look at what they did in 11 and 13 and 15, right? Didn't make the playoffs. In some of those seasons, finished under 500. So I bet you the mission statement is just, and they've done that every year, above 500, every year in contention. And that's probably the mission statement now.
Well, let's go to Javi in Queens. Javi, what do you got?
There he is.
What's up, guys? Thank you for the Javi and not the Javier introduction, Alan.
Cavassier Javier.
Come on, that was special.
That's right.
Donnie, and I just want to reflect on our last call. I love you too, Donnie. Thank you so much for taking my call and hearing what I got to say. I appreciate you, man.
Yes.
So listen, with the Yankees, I think this is going to go over well with the kids. I think I'd rather hear fingernails on a chalkboard than hear anything that Boone or Cashman has to say, just because it's very rinse and repeat. They're not really saying anything. So I have a Yankees question for you guys, and I have a really quick Knicks one for Alan. With the Yankees, I just feel like the writing's on the wall. They're not going to have a big signing for a starter. They'll probably put money into the bullpen, maybe sign Bellinger, and that's about it. I think we're looking at pretty much the same team with a revamped bullpen. I don't know what you guys think about that. And with the Knicks, Alan, do you think the Knicks actually have a legit shot of winning 60 games this year? I know that's lofty, but the NBA looks kind of down, especially the East. Is this where can the Knicks finally kind of just put their foot on the neck of the East and be the beast of the East? I've been a Knicks fan for so long that I don't believe that's going to happen, but that's just the pessimistic Knicks fan in me. Alan, realistically, what do you think about this shot of winning 60 games this year? Thanks, guys, for taking the call. You guys are the best.
You got it. Thanks, Javi. It's on the table, but it's going to take a fast start, and we're going to play you something in a little bit from Mike Brown that suggests that you might want to tamp down those kind of expectations. So a little tease there for you. Let's continue. Troy in New Jersey. Go ahead, Troy.
Hey, what's going on? I'm a huge Devils fan. I called in the Michael K show to congratulate Mr. LaGreca. You're doing awesome. I'm pumped up for the home opener, but I was actually calling in about Anthony Volpe. I asked this to Mr. K too. Have you ever seen in Yankees history any player getting as long of a leash as Anthony Volpe has?
Sanchez got a pretty long one, right?
Excuse me?
Gary. Yeah, but yes. The wording
that wasn't
probably
what
could have been better.
He got a long leash, and then eventually it snapped. But I remember those phone calls. Yeah. You remember, Alan? You were doing shows.
Yeah.
You're probably doing with Rick at the time. Why? He's a great framer. They keep making excuses for him, and then eventually
no one
you
could
ran
frame
out of road.
it like Sanchez.
Yeah. Gary and Glaber both.
They did the same thing today. They did the same thing today when talking about Volpe. They're trying to paint it in a different light, as if he didn't have 19 errors.
Well, and again, you got to understand too. The feeling is that the injury. Now they're admitting it that it did. Let's say here. There's two different schools of thought. So this leads us in. And thank you, Troy. So first, Aaron Boone, when he talked about the Volpe injury, he kind of suggested that he didn't think that it was anything that affected the way he played.
No, even going into this winter, surgery wasn't a certain. It was, do we do this surgery? And really what it comes down to is we have this time now, and Anthony ultimately deciding, because there's things that he does to it over the course of the year that aggravate it, right? I think for the overwhelming majority of the year, it was not affecting his play. There were things like he would dive on it in a certain way, tick it off, aggravate it. I think in some ways the injury probably got a little bit worse towards the end of the year based on a couple of episodes that happened, but I don't think it was impacting performance. And this is something that you can play with and play through, but the finality of getting it fixed now hopefully frees him up to really go dive on it the way he's going to dive on it and make those next level of plays that Anthony makes. And then hopefully, because you're fixing something that is hurt on the body, that hopefully, it does help performance too, go to another level.
So there's that. Now, before we comment, fellas, here's Brian Cashman when he was asked, did Volpe's injury affect the way he performed?
I personally think now I'll start leaning more into that, yes, it was affecting him because ultimately he had to have a surgery. None of that was really on the table, in season. So I think all things can be true. Was it bothering him to a level that was getting to a height of concern for us? in season, the answer is no. Why is that? Player says it wasn't bothering him at that point. His physical testing was coming back strong. We did an MRI that showed some old stuff in there. Ahmad recommended we can do a shot. You banged it, falling on it, diving on it. That seemed to take care of it. You forget about it. Struggles keep happening. So I think it could be true on both ways. I think that, I know people suggest maybe we underplayed the injury. I don't think that's true. I think we were trying to be as honest with our fans and our media who communicate to the fans what our medical staff, doctors, trainers, and then, you treat complaints from the player.
Well, that last part, I think, is really the undoing of it, is I think Anthony Volpe was not completely honest with them on how it felt.
And that's what Boone said, right?
So,
yeah.
That probably disturbed things because they really were relying on, how does it feel? Feels great. You sure? Feels great, Skip. I can go out there and I can play. And maybe if he was a little bit more upfront on how he felt, that maybe that he would have gotten the surgery earlier, maybe gotten pulled out of the lineup. Now, I don't know how much, when they're talking about struggles, is this just the defense or all of it?
Well,
because it was also the offense that struggled.
Well, yeah. But that, in the middle of the season when they knew that there were issues and they were giving him shots and all that stuff, there had to come a point where because he said that it showed old injury and old stuff in it. At some point, we said this during the season, you save the player from himself. You make the decision for him. First of all, you're not playing well. It's probably affecting you, and you don't want to admit it. And clearly there's damage. Let's get this thing fixed. The problem is that would have ended his season. They didn't have a shortstop. They had no other options at that moment.
Until they got Caballero.
And if you don't think the kid knows there's somebody down in AA and AAA,
I'm sure,
that is just waiting to take his spot. If you don't think he knows that, and therefore he's like, I'm fine, play through it, I'm fine, absolutely that's going on. If he had an 8-year deal, there's no way he finishes the season.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But that's human nature, and I can't hold that against him. But I can call out the organization for it. All right, more calls to get to. 800-919-3776. Like I said, there is some interesting stuff involving the Knicks. We'll get it to in the 4 o'clock hour, and Damian Woody and some football in the 5 o'clock hour. So stay with us. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters. But those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th, and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN. 1 free year of Perplexity Pro and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank, N.A.
Your fantasy roster is set. The Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Welcome back. We'll get to your calls again, 800-919-3776 in a moment. But, hey, how about a little game time? Brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Because, Donnie, when it's game time, I do. Big hockey night tonight, boys. So we have first Rangers visiting the Maple Leafs up in Toronto. Coverage immediately follows us right here on 880 at 6:30 p.m. Donnie and the Devils, home opener tonight. That's why he's got that fancy tie on and the suit, the whole. He got his hair cut. Look at him looking all luxurious. They open this. Oh, boy, home opener against the Panthers. He couldn't get like a homecoming. You got to face the Florida Panthers. Devils, Panthers. That's a 7 p.m. start. Catch Donnie on MSG Networks. Islanders host Conor McGregor. Yes, Conor McGregor. That's what I said. No.
Wow, it's interesting.
That is not what I was. Well, why would I say Conor?
It's interesting, though.
But it would be interesting. If Conor McGregor on ice would be really amazing if you think about it.
Think about that.
Yeah. Conor McDavid, though, is a lot better at hockey than McGregor.
Sure.
And the Oilers at 7:30. And if you're interested in the baseball, we have NLCS Game 3 for you on 10:50 a.m. That actually is coming up at 5:30 if you wanted to switch over and listen to some baseball. ALCS Game 4 coverage will be on 880 following the Rangers. Busy sports night tonight. There is also some football too, boys. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Don, you excited? Home opener.
What does that tell you?
He is excited.
What's going on?
Nice and loud. He can't hear a thing, can he?
Not a clue, no.
He can't hear anything right now.
The best thing is he's staring off in the distance, like almost like I wish I could be a part of this show. Which, by the way,
we have his mic off because what are they playing behind him?
By the way, that music that's blaring in Don's ears, Alan, that's what I was hearing when I heard Cashman and Boone talking. That's basically the I heard. Was just blaring music.
That's a cover of Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, I believe.
Oh, it's a cover?
I believe that's I Had Some Help, and that doesn't sound like Post Malone and Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
It didn't, but you know what? I'm good.
He looks thrilled, though, doesn't he? If you can get to YouTube, if you love Don rants, who doesn't?
Can I get
There's also the silent rant. Isn't there a silent rant? This feels like a silent rant.
Anthony, let me hear him again. Or Jacob. They're not even trying.
Not even trying. Oh boy!
By the way, nor do they have to.
I want background music in my house and in the studio, depending where I'm working.
Oh, do we have?
Because you guys are going to have different background music at Knicks games, at Devils games.
It's a good point.
You back? You good?
That was a cover band, huh? We have a cover band?
I don't know.
That looked like a silent protest by you.
Well, it wasn't silent. I just could not hear a word. Couldn't hear myself. Couldn't hear you. I didn't even try.
You missed me saying Conor McGregor and the Oilers.
Yeah, he confused Conor McDavid.
Well, for some reason, I just went right to McGregor.
I can understand Peter doing that. A little surprised you.
Yeah, no, that was bad. That's a bad job by
all these years doing this on the Michael K. Show, I never heard it this loud. And it's just in Columbus now here. Because it's opening night. That's the problem. This is not going to stand, guys. I'm going to try to figure something else out. I apologize.
You know what? They play now in Newark, but they want them to hear it also at the old arena in
Hold on. You know what, Alan? Alan, you may be
there
overdoing it. Jacob, let me hear the music again. You may be overdoing it.
Oh, now we got some Maroon 5 cover. They have a live band at the Rock. You got to love it.
They are really getting after it.
Remember when you guys had me yell to the DJ in Detroit?
Yeah. Oh, I did.
To turn it down? We probably still have that.
Oh, we have a drop of it.
It
was out of control.
Yeah, I think Don needs to just completely just scream down to someone.
I like the idea that it was given the option to Don. Hey, would you like to be in a quiet room, somewhere in the arena? No, you know what? I think the booth would be great. I love the idea of the booth. I think he's second-guessing his decision.
Wait, hold on. What was his logic, Anthony? Like, it would look cool?
Look at the background. It looks awesome. We've got
it is cool.
NHL calibration in progress.
But of all the that's a weird
little
sign.
calibration, sure.
But of all the people who you think would say, screw what it looks like, I do a damn radio show.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think it would be Don LaGreca?
We needed a Don moment there. We did not get a Don moment.
No, it's the silent rant. That's what he's got going on right now.
Let's check back in and hear how Don's doing.
Yeah.
I see the
checking in with Don.
They're almost done with the song.
That second chorus, though, Don, you're almost.
Turn it down! That was me in Detroit.
Listen, the thing I'm excited about is I feel finally like we have leadership in John Winthrop who understands what the situation is, okay? Like, there's fighting to try to make our show something it's not, and there's accepting what it is. The reality is, the three of us love doing this show. Yeah, well, Anthony, we've been broken down. The three of us love doing this show and love hanging out. We also have other things we're passionate about that brings us to different parts of the world. In the case of Alan and Don, it sometimes is going to bring them to places where basically a concert is happening.
Yes.
On and off during the show, and you just got to be ready to roll with the punches. That means Don's getting potted down until this Maroon 5 cover is over. Oh, come on. He's not. Wait, is he like riffing at the end?
Is you never know what's going to happen at any moment.
But
Don is so mad. He's so off the mic now. Look how bad. This poor man's defeated. Look at him.
His headphones are off.
Home opener.
Can we get a one shot of just Don, please?
Yeah, just
I'm sorry. I'm not telling you to run the show, Anthony. I need a single on Don. Okay. Oh wait.
No.
Hold on.
There it is. Oh yeah.
Look at him. He's on his just.
He is checked out. He is checked out.
Listen, Don, you can't hear us, but the good news is we're about to hit a break anyway. It's the end of the hour. We'll come back fresh in the 4 o'clock, and one of two things will happen. Either we get Don LaGreca, or it'll be like living on a prayer or something new.
We could get if we have living on a prayer, he'll probably jump right out of that booth.
I think he's back. Don?
I'm back.
All right, we're going to break.
Well,
now
perfect.
We got to break though.
It is time. It is time to go to break. But we have more.
Back.
We have your Yankee calls to get to at 800-919-3776, and also something Knicks related as we are getting closer to the start of the season. If you want to have a little bit of concern, there are some things to discuss. But there's also something Mike Brown said that every fan needs to hear going into this season. That's coming up at the 4 o'clock hour and more. Stay with us. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Bally Bet Sportsbook. Yo, Bally Bet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Check out that brand new Parlay Zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bally Bet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just one day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bathfitter.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24th, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State. With 10 minutes left in the second quarter, Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Oh, if this is playing at the Rock, which it wouldn't surprise me. It is Bon Jovi. It is New Jersey.
I'm hoping it was just an opening night thing. They've got a band, then he had the rehearse. But if this is every time, then
well, again, from my experience, Don, at the Garden, when you guys remember this last season when I was doing some of the shows from the booth before games, I'm contemplating whether or not I should continue that or do it in a sound room, which is which would have less distractions.
Right.
But they have that point. It's usually around this time, 3:30ish, 4, where they do all the game ops stuff, which includes, like, for me, it was the halftime show, and they would do it like 3 times to the same song 3 times. Like, that can be annoying. But once that's done, it's generally going to be quiet now, Don, for you, at least until
But that's
5
the thing, but like,
something.
But then it's back. Something.
Well, not as bad. It's usually but they don't actually. Hockey doesn't have warm-ups like that. Like basketball, they start coming out at 5 o'clock and they're doing shooting and all that other stuff.
Peter will tell you that during my years with Michael there'll be times something would happen, an anthem or some kind of testing something. And it would be irritating. It sounded like I was in a disco. But like Columbus and here, it's been ridiculous, and I think it's just because it's opening night, hopefully.
Let's hope so. Well, you're excited, though, right? Opening night, it's like home opener. Now, it's not any different. You're on TV regardless. It's not like you're in the arena, but still, like, there's a little added excitement to this, or did you get that out of the way with the season opener, or at least your season opener last Saturday night in Tampa?
No, this is ridiculous. Sorry, guys.
The anticipation of
Peter, I'm telling you, sometimes this is better than a full rant.
Well, listen,
because you have to watch this. If you haven't already, go to YouTube.
You got to be on
Don's
YouTube
face and just how
No,
angry
please.
and frustrated he is. Is he going to
he may take
Is he logging out?
Is he going to turn? No, please don't leave the video.
Tell me he's just logging out.
He's frozen. Please don't leave, Don. Please don't.
He did.
Oh, come on, man. People, you got whenever he comes back, go get on our YouTube and watch this live. This man. Well, and by the way, listen. This is a very Don. This is a very Don thing, but it's okay. It's our first time in the situation. I'm sure the Devils will work with him.
Yes,
we'll find a place. We'll figure it out.
He can't rant because this is his This is the team.
This is the dream job,
and they're doing this for him, letting him use this. He can't flip out right now.
And they did give him the option, it sounded like, of being somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he thought this was the better choice.
Yeah, I think.
And
well,
at least
look,
for
we live
game
and learn.
one, you live and learn. That's all you can do, right? It's like the Yankees. You just got to try to glean whatever you can from the situation and move on. But if you're not in front of a computer, I recommend you get there because if Don comes back to camera and melts down again, and I really hope someone goes through this YouTube and isolates Don and makes a time-lapse video of the anger over the last 30 minutes because it has been – and by the way, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm now back in the show. I was borderline ending – almost ended myself. And it's no fault of Alan or Don's.
Oh, the baseball
They're covering the – well, yeah, but it's not just baseball talk. It's the same postmortem I've done for 9 years.
You know what?
It's just hard. It's just hard.
I completely get it. I understand
no one's fault,
it. And
except the Yankees.
There are times though where there are things that we have to do because it's the postmortem. It's the end of the season.
Yes,
they're
spoke
saying
today.
the same crap. Yes, it's the same things. Yes, it's the same people. And yes, it's the same reactions. Everybody all feels the same way, but it's our job to cover this.
Done.
But there are other things to get to, and I promise you we're going to do that while we also wait and see. Did Don just pack up now and go to that room that is more of a soundproof room? So I wonder if he's doing that because he's just had it. In the meantime, again, 800-919-3776. We have calls to get to, but I also wanted to get to this part of it. Now, again, NBA season starts next Tuesday. Now, Wednesdays when the Knicks season begins, Wednesday night at the Garden against the Cavs. We're going to be at Stout that afternoon next Wednesday. For anybody that's going to be in the city or if you go into the game, our show starts at 3 as always. Yes, we will have the YouTube vehicle as well, but we'll be live at Stout right there on 33rd Street. It's steps away from the Garden. It's definitely worth your time to come hang out. I'm already getting the guest list. I'm sending out texts to people to see who we can have come through, and it'll be a great time. You won't want to miss it, so come hang out if you're in the city. But the Knicks play their last preseason game tomorrow night at the Garden. And usually, guys, this is the one, as Don is back with us, the headset's on, and now hopefully it's quieter in the arena. But the final preseason game, which is unlike the NFL and everything else, is generally it's used as your dress rehearsal. It's like, okay, now we're going to play our rotation. They'll probably take you through 3 full quarters. Fourth quarter probably when you sit people because nobody cares about winning and losing in the preseason. You want to be healthy at the end of it. Health, though, that's the concern right now. Today in practice, the Knicks were missing Karl Anthony Towns, who had a little quad issue.
That's
OG
Cat to you and
Anunoby, yes, Cat to you and I. OG Anunoby, an ankle issue that he tweaked in practice the day before. He didn't practice. Josh Hart's still not practicing. As you know, he had the back thing from the first preseason game. They're ramping him back up, but he's only doing individual workouts. He has not joined the team yet. So this is almost the entire training camp that he has missed with a new system and a new coach. And then there's Mitchell Robinson, who we haven't seen since the first half of the third preseason game against Minnesota, where he played terrific and then didn't return in the second half while the rest of the starters did. and we were like, what's going on with Mitch? And it's just, managing. It's all workload management, which is a word I want everybody to get used to. In the Tom Thibodeau era, we never heard words like this, load management and all that other stuff. This is something you're going to have to get used to, and I don't blame them with Mitchell Robinson because he's had a ton of injuries, but it doesn't mean that you don't, your antenna doesn't get up and go, is he going to be all right? Because he did not practice again today, as far as that's what Mike Brown said. Will he be ready for opening night? You kind of hope so. You expect it because they're not saying anything more than just, just managing him, bringing him along slowly. But how different does this team feel if we've got some guys that are banged up? Now, again, to be clear, Anunoby and Towns are day-to-day stuff. They're not going to force these guys into practice. This is a long play kind of thing on the season that they expect to be a long season, and they hope be one that takes you into June for the first time in 25 years. But it's still, we're talking about 4 players in the top 9 on the roster. And with tomorrow expected to be the last preseason game, the question is, who's even going to be available to play in this game to get one last look before the season starts in a new system and whatnot? So with that in mind, as guys, we talked about how important a fast start to the season is for the Knicks, with added pressure of a lot of the New York teams aren't really exciting anybody. And so there's this concern. Everybody now is focused on the Knicks, and maybe the Knicks can save the day and have a great start, make everybody feel good. Mike Brown said something yesterday after practice that caught my attention. Listen to this.
We know this is going to be a process. It's not going to happen game 1, game 2. Could we come out blazing? Yeah, who knows? But it's going to be a process. We're going to have our highs, we're going to have our lows. Can't get too high if it's going good, can't get too low if it's not. We got to stay even keeled and know that this is a marathon and not a sprint. At the end of the day,
does it feel like tamping down expectations,
or
is that just kind of coach speak about any season?
What's more than tamping down? That's like someone just says it's a little bit warm outside. There's not a fire. They just said, "Is it warm out today?" And someone just came with a bucket, did the ice bucket challenge out of the blue.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that was taking it way back. What are you expecting here, Coach?
I was hearing Alan throughout the summer, whenever I would bring up, the Knicks play every night. The Knicks don't believe in load management. And Alan would be like, well, wait, let's see. We got a new coach here. We don't know.
Yep.
And then you got the injuries. It really sounds like he hopes they don't get off to a slow start, but he wouldn't be shocked if they did. So he's kind of giving you a little bit of a warning. It may not be win the first 12 games and blow everybody away. But, God, we need this, guys. And if we're sitting here and the team's like 3-5 to start the season, people are going to complain.
Yep.
People are going to have a problem with it.
I'm worried about that, Don.
And then you're going to be, you're Nick boy when you're telling everybody, listen, it's a new coach, it's a new system, give them time. Fans aren't going to want to hear that. They've been disappointed by their football. They've been disappointed by their baseball. Islanders haven't won a game yet. Rangers have been shut out 3 straight home games. I think people are really hungering for the Knicks, and if they get a soft open, fans are going to be ticked off, and rightly so.
By the way, who wins first, Islanders or Jets? But
I don't have the schedule in front of me. But
I go Islanders.
I think Islanders.
But it is something, as of course Don's theme music begins again. It is something though that you kind of like the team can't control this. The team doesn't they shouldn't care about this, but it's something I'm kind of like saying to them because like Michael does, like I do, like Don does, like we all that cover an individual team as our side hustle. This job that we do here, getting to talk sports, all the sports, and talk to the fans in New York, we get that temperature every day, right? We got the thermometer out, Peter. We're sticking it right in there. We know the temperature of the fan base.
Rectal, you're saying?
Every day. Well, that's the best way to take a temperature.
Yeah, if you want a real temperature.
Not digital. And not that
digital nonsense.
Not the silly digital thing. But no. But what we know is that there's sort of like this anxiety of the fan base. Like, is anybody going to be good? Are we going to get any good teams? And so the pressure, whether they like it or not, is going to be on the Knicks to win opening night against the Cavs, to say, okay, they're better than another team that's supposed to be good in the East, and then just rip off a bunch of wins to start the season so that everybody can just exhale and say, okay, we can settle in now and enjoy the season. Because if they don't, you're going to get that frustration whether they like it or not. It's almost like, a city turns its lonely eyes to you because everybody else has frustrated us. Now what can you do for us? It's unfair, but it's a reality.
I remember.
Well, it's almost like Mike Brown knows that and is like, hold on, before everyone heaps their anguish over the Yankees onto us, just give us a moment to get out of the gate here. We got to get warmed up a little bit. Sorry, Don, you were saying.
And Peter, even though I include myself in this as a member of the media, okay? So this is like media on media crime, is that the media eats that stuff up. Lose to the Cavaliers, and that'll be the headline, that'll be the conversation, like what's going on with this team right away. Instead of being a little bit more understanding, I think they'll be looking to pounce because we've seen that time and time again. Every time the Yankees or Mets get off to a slow start or lose on opening day, hey, it's not one of 162. It's, this is it. They blew it. This was opening night, and you screwed it up. I really think especially the first game and who it's against. It's the defending one seed in the Cleveland Cavaliers, a team you couldn't beat last year.
Yep.
I think even if you got off to a slow start, maybe the fans would be a little bit forgivable. But that first game, if you come out of there with a loss, it could be a tough day on the radio the next day because I think fans will be really hot.
800-939-3776 for the calls on this as well, because I'm curious about – we haven't really done a lot of Knicks, so we haven't done a lot of take the temperature of Knicks fans going into this season as well, because there was some talk in the summer, then we've gotten away from it. But now as we're just days away from the start of the season, and next week we'll probably – we can definitely dial it up. But just because there's one more preseason game to go tomorrow, and just because there's a couple of guys that are now being held out of practice – there's a lot of things being said that we haven't been used to over the last 4 or 5 years because of Tom Thibodeau. This was a team that everybody always played. No one sat out. There was no such thing as load management to the extreme, and some fans got frustrated by it, right? And that was their badge of honor. We don't sit out games. We play every game. Our guys want to play. Like, that was always the badge of honor. So with a different approach, especially like Robinson's importance to the team is almost at the level of Igor Shesterkin. Like, does that sound crazy, Don?
Well, just on the surface it does, because he's not the player Shesterkin is.
But his impact is similar in the fact that he does so many things to keep them in a game because of what his defense does, the length, lob throw. Like, there's so many little things about him that you take for granted that they've learned about him that you got to get him through. And I said this the other day, if you'll take – Dave and Rick were doing this morning, and it's a lot like what you and I were doing the other day, Don. If I gave you 55 games this season with Mitchell Robinson and healthy for the playoffs, you sign him for that, or do you want more?
Well, I would like more, but I have a feeling I'll sign for it just based on the history.
I mean, you have to, because this. He's a guy that does struggle to stay healthy, and so can Knicks fans embrace the idea of load management, which is the dirty word in the NBA, but a reality with a player like this who's got that much importance because of what he unlocks for everybody else. He helps Karl-Anthony Towns be better. He helps Brunson be better. Like, it's just you're going to have to live with that word or that phrase this year. Well, we've never had to say it before.
Listen, it was one phone call, Javi, early in the show. Can this team win 60 games? Well, no. If you're going to load manage, if you're going to tamper down expectations early because you've got a new coach and a new system, then that's a team that's not going to win 60 games. Teams that win 60 games are consistently good all year. They stay healthy all year.
And they start hot.
And more importantly, Alan, they want to win 60. Right? So, hey, listen, maybe you live with 57 if you finish with the 1 seed. I think the 1 seed's more important. I think they'd rather have the 1 seed and have 57 wins than 62 wins and be the 2 seed. Right? So, but I think, I don't know how important it is to the Knicks to be the 1 seed and have home court. But if you're saying all these things, Alan, that doesn't sound like a team that's going to win 60 games.
Well, again, it's you got to get off to a hot start. 60's hard, like that's a hard number to get to, and it does take a hot start. Like, so you start there. If they had the same coach and the same system, you could argue like that you can make that as an expectation. But because, and that's why I wanted to play that Mike Brown. Because he's seeing it probably. Like, all right, it's a new system. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to catch on. There's a lot of little moving parts and pieces that we've got to figure out along the way. And it could hit right away, but it might not. And you might, just play 2 or 3 games over 500 to start the year in the first 20. First 20 is everything, guys. So, that's kind of how I feel too. what Javi asked, you said it, Don. I'm with you. I don't see 60, and I'm to me, it's like is just between 50 and 55 is a more attainable goal, but you still gotta get off to a decent start to get there. But you got to be top 1, 2, 3. You can't be any lower than that because you got to have home court at the least in the first 2 rounds. At the least, it's too important for this team, and the Garden is too important to them. But with a new coach, he's already letting you know. Don't get too excited.
Right. And it's interesting, though, because we'll see as the season goes on, Alan. Obviously, you'll get a gauge of, by the time we get a little past the All-Star break, how realistic the 1 seed is. And you'll get an idea if that's what they're really going for.
I think you might know by Christmas.
Yeah, honestly, you might.
Know what I mean?
Well, you certainly know if you'll have no shot at it.
Yeah.
And
now, keep in mind, Cleveland's got injuries, too. So, last year they jumped out of the gate and just took off, and everybody was chasing them right from the start.
That may not happen this time.
It might not. So it might be better. If the East is what everybody thinks it is, everybody might be sort of just meandering through the start of the season. It might work out for the Knicks. We don't know. There's a lot of unknown because there isn't that one team that looks like fully healthy, fully operational, and they're going to run everybody over. Everybody's got an issue.
The sneaky potential bummer that's sitting out there for you, by the way, is obviously everyone's thinking about, night 1 against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I'm not being that guy. I know the Celtics are not going to compete for the title this year. I highly doubt they're going to completely roll over for the whole league. So you also, Alan, would not want to lose Game 2 against Boston minus Tatum.
I gave you the start of the season, the first couple of games. Like it's what the networks wanted. They wanted those matchups. I think I'm not going to argue with you. I don't think you're being Celtics boy. I think it's reasonable. Now Jaylen Brown's got to get over a hamstring issue he's dealing with right now. But if you know Joe Mazzulla, you don't think he's going to turn that into the motivational speech of all motivational speeches, right?
Everyone's telling
us
we got nothing. We get to have the rare position of going from being the hunted to the hunter. It's a totally unique circumstance, and Mazzulla's the kind of psycho who will enjoy that.
Yes,
I think you're right.
Yeah. It is something. Early in the season, you watch those little things. At some point, it'll catch up to Boston. They just don't have enough healthy bodies and talent. They're going through a bit of a gap year kind of thing with that roster. It's fine, as Tatum, is going to be out. But I can't argue it.
Everybody wants to beat the Knicks too. It's almost
especially the Garden.
When you're a New York team and everybody's hyping you. It's almost as if they're the defending champions. They're going to have a target on their back.
Yep.
They didn't even make it out of the Eastern Conference to the final, and yet they're going to have the target on their back because everybody's been talking about how good they're going to be, and they're going to come out of the Eastern Conference. They're the favorites, and I think there's going to be teams that go in. You're right, into the Garden, especially with a bit of chip on their shoulder. And Cleveland's probably thinking like, all right, listen, we were good last year, man. Nobody's talking about us. Everybody's got Boston dead. Everybody's got Indiana dead. Orlando and Detroit, they're not ready yet. Milwaukee's cooked. There's a lot of pressure on the Knicks to kind of, fulfill this thing. So, and I think a lot of teams around the league are looking very anxious to try to put them in their place.
800-919-3776. We'll get back to calls. Nina in Los Angeles. Nina.
Nima, sorry, but how you guys doing? Big fan.
What's happening?
Listen, I don't know why you guys are so worried about the New York Knicks. I think you guys are easy lock for the first in the conference. I think last year you guys dealt with Karl Anthony Towns coming in late. You guys have better chemistry now. I like the depth pieces. I know Brogdon just retired, but I really like the depth pieces of Clarkson and adding a little bit more around. I think Mike Brown's going to open up that offense much more compared to last year, and especially that cutting offense to get you guys some more easier shots and shots around the basket. Less focus on Brunson and maintaining the ball and possessing it like so often. I think you guys are easy lock for one. I'm not a big fan of the Cavs, and I think you guys have their number. And I wouldn't be surprised if you guys come out and get the number 1 seed and go to the finals.
Well, that's the optimism every Knicks fan's looking for, so I appreciate the input. Now, having the Cavs number is not accurate because they couldn't beat the Cavs last year. Even late in the season when the game really didn't mean anything for the Cavs, they still brought it for the same reasons. You want to set the tone. But as I mentioned, they are also dealing with injuries to key players to start the season. The Knicks could still have like their full team ready on opening night. We don't know what Hart's situation is. We just know he's not yet practicing full with the team. He is doing stuff on the side. And you can't dismiss him. I think he's a really valuable piece to this team for all the little things that he brings. And the change in system is not just the change in like a different system. It's a whole different philosophy. Running more, cutting harder. Like it's like changing the way they play. So it's starting over again for this group.
It's so weird to be talking about a team so hyped that had a coaching change too. I mean, you never see that.
Yep.
You don't see a team go to the conference final too often. I know it happened in Dallas in the NHL, but to have a team have that kind of a year and now a coaching change and still have that kind of hype. But, the Yankees were making it out of the American League. Remember the start of the year? Mm-hmm. Who did the Yankees have to worry about in the American League? Who was talking about the Toronto Blue Jays as being better than them? Who had the Boston Red Sox making that kind of a leap? Right? So I think the NBA is a little bit more predictable than baseball, but still, is Detroit ready to pop? Is Orlando ready to pop?
Yeah, those are the two teams I worry about the most. Like if you want to do that comparison, like the baseball one that you just did, who's this year's Toronto Blue Jays? Yeah. Like I would look at Detroit and Orlando as two teams that could be that kind of annoying needle in their side kind of team.
And look in the NBA, who had the Cavaliers being the 1 seed last year?
Yeah, nobody saw that coming.
It was supposed to be the Knicks and the Celtics, right? So, we hope it's the Knicks. It should be the Knicks, but I can understand there should be a little apprehension with a new coach and already talking about, hey, well, slow start, load management, guy's not healthy. It'll be interesting, and Wednesday we'll be all over it.
How bad does New York need it, though? After everything you've been through and the frustration off the Yankees and the football teams, like honestly, it does feel like there was already anticipation, but does it ever happen where because the rest of New York's teams aren't living up to expectations that it just puts added pressure on the one team that actually does?
Not to throw shade at the Nets, but if you are a fan of football and baseball and you have a basketball team, I would say 80% of those people, the team that they root for are the Knicks, right? So if you're a Jet fan, if you're a Giant fan, if you're a Yankee fan, if you're a Met fan, and you're also a basketball fan, then you've been really hungry to watch the Knicks for a long time, especially all the hype that's around them. So, yeah, I would say a large percentage of this city needs the Knicks to get off to a good start.
Amazing. All right, we have your calls at 800-919-3776. We'll get them stacked and racked, and we'll get to them. But we have That Guy Thursday coming up, which is always a lot of fun. If you have that guy to share with us, of course, call in and let us know if you came across that guy that you need to point out. That more coming up. Damien Woody, 5 o'clock hour. Stay with us. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same day and next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. Jay Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
Long Island is brewing some spooky fun at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. We're celebrating this October for our $50,000 Witchy Wednesdays drawing. Be here on Wednesday, October 1st, 15th, and 29th from 3 to 7 p.m. when 2 winners will be drawn every hour to pick a witch's hat and win up to $5,000 cash. Club members can conjure up to 5 times entry multipliers. Fly over to where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Plus, a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter. Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. Can't catch a break on the LIE eastbound. They cleaned up that crash over by Casino Boulevard in Queens. But now we've got a new hit eastbound in Nassau County involving a tractor-trailer right lane out by Shelter Rock Road. Traffic is crawling there from right out of the Midtown Tunnel. Belt westbound at a standstill with an accident right before Cross Bay Boulevard. Jammed heading over to JFK from just after Sunrise Highway. Then some solid pockets of slowdowns on the westbound belts heading over to the Verrazano in Brooklyn from the Mill Basin Bridge. Inbound Georgia about 15 to 20 for the upper deck. Best of it's the outbound side, Henry Hudson. Cross Bronx westbound, slam from the Bruckner on through. Outbound Lincoln Orange about 30 to 40. Outbound Holland 45 plus. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
D'Agostino, law, bite back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino and Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino and Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Have that one friend.
I'm talking about the yo-yos who set themselves on fire and bathe in pork and beans.
Or know that one person.
I'm here with my family.
Who can't help but be.
He's not cool. His voice is weird. He's kind of a dork. His brother's a tool. His girlfriend's annoying.
That guy.
I didn't know it was banner night. We won't be out for that.
It's time for That Guy Thursday.
Hey guys, anyone want to play some ball?
With Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
He's just being that guy.
Oh, it's the best. It's just the best intro there is.
You love that intro, don't you? It is very good.
I don't even know what my favorite part is because there's the Don. Wait, what did you say, Don?
Oh, the pork and beans line?
Yeah, but what do they do? They do what and bathe themselves in pork and beans?
They set themselves on fire.
And bathe in pork and beans.
I mean, who are those people?
The Bills fans.
And then you have bathe in pork and beans. And then you have Allen's, hey guys, want to play some ball? I mean, it's fantastic.
Really, very few times can you actually circle the greatest thing you've ever done. And whoever made that open, that's it.
And listen, I can't speak for Mike Brown of the New York Knicks, but I can speak for Mike Brown, sure, of ESPN New York, and that's his best work, right? That's a masterpiece.
By the way, can we turn Don back up, because by God, they're playing Don LaGreca's music.
It is nice. It's almost like
now he can't even be mad.
But he's not mad now.
I'm not mad at this stuff.
Now he wants to let loose.
War pigs, baby.
But wait a minute. Little Birdie told me you were singing Maroon 5 during the break.
Who was? I was?
Just saying.
I didn't even notice I was.
Might have picked you up.
That's how captivating it is.
Yeah, you was getting to the point you were so frustrated by the music, you could hear under your breath Maroon 5.
Jacob is not protecting you, Don. I'm just going to let you know.
No.
I know he doesn't have my back. I still love him, though.
Enough people can
Love
protect
you too.
Don LaGreca. But you had your silent rants today have been fantastic. In the meantime, this is so you.
I've heard Don sing this before.
Yeah, didn't you do this at a beach bash?
No, I did. No, I never did this. I did Fairies Wear Boots, but same vibe.
I think they're playing this for you.
This sounds really good coming out of the Jumbotron.
I'm going to say this is not going to get monetized, this video. I'm just calling it.
We can't get in trouble for this. We can't control what
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. No, there's no trouble. It just won't monetize.
Yeah, bring Don down. That's enough. Just watch him headbang instead.
You guys get the picture. You know the song.
My That Guy Thursday.
Oh, you got to get okay, good. Go.
Well, no, it has to be the Prudential Center. They're doing too much. I love the Prudential Center.
The
this
Rock.
is too much.
The Rock to you and me.
The Rock to you and me, as it's known.
Yes.
Although, really, that guy should be Don. Because, from what I'm told, Don was offered a quiet room where he could have closed the door and done the radio show like a gentleman. And Don, of all people, Alan, you'd think he would say, no frills, I don't care about the look, I don't care about being in the... I just want to have a place
doing a
where I can
radio show.
Yeah, I'm doing my radio show. This isn't some TV show. And here he is. He wanted to have the good look out in the stadium, and he nearly had a coronary today with all the music.
Because Peter, how many years? It never was this bad.
This is your first time being a Devils man.
Yeah.
But I've been at the Rock before.
And you don't remember it ever being this bad.
No.
Hey, Marty.
So that's yours, is the Prudential
The fact
Center.
that you have the scoreboard behind you and all the histrionics is great. Meanwhile, you'll see me tomorrow with again, I'll be in that dark room with the black wall behind me, hostage video style. But
can we get you a light at least? Can we get you a light?
It's tough.
Nope.
How about a newspaper with today's date?
I'll just hold it up.
Just so we know.
Yeah, bring the Post with you, please.
I've got a that guy.
Oh, good.
If I bring any paper, it's Newsday. I've got a that guy. It's a guy that we were talking about. It's Brian Cashman. He was being that guy today. Let's be honest. He was looking he was walking into that press conference ready for the fight. That he was he was going to be defiant. The only thing he was going to allow were just little moments of, yes, we didn't reach our goals. Those types of statements that he would make, right? The season wasn't good enough. Good enough. When you say good enough, that suggests it was good, but it wasn't good enough, right?
Right.
Not it was a bad season or a disappointing season or that's what it was. But how about this? Beyond him saying that the Blue Jays just rolled us all year, beyond, talking about the season not being good enough, beyond talking about the issues of the season, how about what area? Because he's talking the job of a GM is always to advance the cause, right? Improve the team, correct the weaknesses. So when he was asked, what areas of weakness do you want to attack in this offseason? His answer:
I'm not going to unpack that today. We'll have some free agency that's going to hit. That'll create some vacancies. We have, got to weigh the available marketplace via free agency or trades with the committed payroll versus the available payroll thereafter. And again, measure opportunities. Some players are knocking on the door, earning the right maybe to take the next step from down below.
Thank you.
All right, there you go.
Thank you. Is that guy?
I mean, he can't. It's kind of built into the job. He's that guy.
Why is it built into the job, though? It's a simple question. What areas of weaknesses? If you're a general manager, it's a very easy question to answer. I don't need time to assess or talk to my staff. You all saw it. I could tell you, too. This is what I see that we need to be better at.
Yeah, I suppose there is probably a way that one could answer that without being completely that guy. You could pick a couple of things where you feel like you could all safely agree.
Just give the people something. Give them what I felt like today was a big FU to the fan base. Instead of, you know what, I need them to feel included, and let me just give them just put a little something. Just sprinkle something out there for the guppies in the water. Just sprinkle it out. A little bit of fish food. Something to bring them to the surface and fatten their belly, right? Instead, you're doing the all is well thing. And you're doing we've got to do our process and go through it. Come on, man. Just be regular for 5 minutes and just point out the obvious. Bullpen wasn't good enough. We tried to fix it. Didn't work. That's got to get better. Bottom of our lineup. Got to get stronger. Some of our young guys, we got to keep developing, get them better. Right? We're going to have issues starting pitching to start the season, so clearly we're going to have to be ready for that. He could say the most obvious things. But at least as a fan, you're just sitting there. You can lap up something instead of leaving them angry. And that's what I feel like that's what he's doing when he does stuff like this. We're not going to talk about it right now. No, this is the exact time to talk about it. That's how I feel. It's just it's an absolute disconnection with the fan base. And today wasn't about media. Today was for the fans. They wanted to hear from the leadership of the organization of why, once again, we don't have a parade this year. Just give them something. And he didn't do it.
Yeah. No, year after year, it's become sort of the same thing.
Yeah. And
am I wrong?
No. You're 100% right. And I like where you're coming from with that. I'm going to stick with New York, and I'm going to stick with a head coach this time, and I'm going to go with Aaron Glenn as that guy.
I love it.
We didn't dive into it too much yesterday when we were talking about Glenn, but again, with the feistiness with the media, you're 0-6, and when someone asks a question about, why don't you throw more with Fields, and his answer is, well, if I throw more and he gets interceptions, then you'll complain about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, are you making decisions based on what the media is going to ask you in the press conference? I am, and I know
it did sound like that's a great point, Don. It did sound like I knew you'd ask me, and I didn't want to have to deal with it. Why don't you worry about winning the game?
And I listen. I don't think he's motivated by that, but just to even bring that up, give me a football answer. Don't give me no. Of course, why wouldn't they complain, Aaron? You're 0-6. That was a historically bad offensive performance in London. All right, I mean, come on, man. You were aggressive to start, and I got that. I mean, I didn't love it, but I guess you wanted to kind of lay a new groundwork that there's a new sheriff in town. You're 0-6. Don't start making it seem like you're making decisions based on what the media is going to be asking you. So I thought he was that guy yesterday, and I don't like how he's handling this.
Yeah, it is interesting that he did put that back on the writers. There was a lot of things that he revealed yesterday in his address that kind of really caught my attention, and just in regards to Justin Fields and how they feel about him. And when he's asked about the offense and you're throwing it, you're having him become a pocket passer when we all know the guy is at his best when he's using his legs and he's running around. And he admits that the approach is a situations by situation deal. That what the Broncos were doing was dictating what they were going to do. And when he explained it, the one thing I will say in his defense, as we're talking about a guy that we feel might be over his head, I will say that his responses to some of the challenges to strategy, he had an answer for everything. He had a reason, and I'll at least give him that. I will say again, while I'm with you, yes, Don, that kind of stuff is not necessary. You're being that guy. But I continue to contend when it comes to Aaron Glenn, if we all can agree that he's not getting fired in year one. And if he does, that's a Woody Johnson problem, which would continue to scream the organization has an issue at the very top and nowhere else. But if we're allowing players to develop, if we're allowing quarterbacks to develop, living with mistakes as they go through it, why can't a rookie coach develop? You're going to tell me that he can't learn from mistakes, that he can't go through something once or twice and make a mistake and make a bad decision, and then the next time it comes around, learning from it, knowing, okay, I remember when I did that, and that was dumb. Let me fix it. Why can't you do that with a coach? Why can't you have that? Because Todd Bowles went through that with the Jets and learned some stuff, and then he went somewhere else and he became a really good coach.
Here's the thing.
What do you
got? Aaron Glenn will get the opportunity to do that, and I think he will be allowed that grace once he wins a couple games. You can't. No one has grace for a 0. You got to get like one of these games that they're capable of winning, because Alan, there's already been 2 or 3 of them.
Oh, I get it, but
you got to just get a couple.
All right, how many of the 6 losses were because he was incompetent or because the talent was incompetent?
Fair. I mean,
it's a fair question. No,
it is a fair question, and I wouldn't let him off the hook. I'd say for 3 of them, I have him squarely in there as well. But certainly the talent's been an issue in all the games. But I think that as soon as he wins 1 or 2 of these games and they realize, fans say, okay, it's not going to be a historically bad season. It's just going to be a bad first season. I think they'll be willing. But until they get there, they're still viewing, oh, my God, are we going to go 0-17? Are we going to go 1-16? Are we going to go 2-15? I think once you get to like the 3 and 4 and 5 win area, everyone will calm down and let Aaron Glenn get a chance.
I think you're right.
There's a panic there, Alan, because of that 0.
It
was sitting right there for him last week. They could have had that game. It was meant for them to get.
Undeniable.
And it's like at the end of the first half and the end of the game, it felt like they didn't want it. And that's a tough feeling for fans.
Yeah, that's undeniable. Now, coming up, I'm going to give you a reason why the wins could be coming. As crazy as it sounds, there is data that tells us the wins are probably coming. And if you're a Giants fan, there's a number I'm going to give you that's going to make you say it's going to get a lot harder, and we don't expect. Like when you start to buy in, it's actually going to get harder for the Giants. That's coming up. Don and all the noise in its glory at the Rock.
Let's hear from Don one more time.
Don, we're checking in with Don at the Rock.
I'm here. Everything's quiet now.
All right. Oh, we got a moment. There we go.
I was there.
Just in time
fight through it.
to go to break. 800-919-3776, your calls and more. And Don, live at the Rock. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Dropped right down the chimney by Justin Fields to Garrett Wilson, and the Jets have the lead. Be at MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Panthers on Sunday, October 19th at 1 p.m., presented by JetBlue. Get to the game early and secure the game giveaway, a JetBlue Jets plane magnet while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win, can change lives. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our fans get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/timeout. That's betterhelp.com/timeout.
Introducing the new ESPN Fox One bundle. Unlock all of ESPN and all of Fox One with one unbeatable price. Catch the biggest games, college football, NBA, NHL, and more on ESPN. Stream your faves, Big Noon Saturday, the World Series, and NASCAR on Fox One. All for just $39.99 a month. That's 20% off. The ESPN Fox One bundle. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Access content from each service separately. Savings compared to purchasing both plans separately. See stream.espn.com for complete terms and conditions.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Knicks fans, opening night is a bounce pass away. Join ESPN New York's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from 3 to 6:30 p.m. from Stout on West 33rd between 6th and 7th. Steps from the Garden. Get ready for the start of Knicks basketball.
Runs it off the dribble. He got it and one.
Special guests include Monica McNutt, Pat O'Keefe, and more. We'll see you at Stout on West 33rd. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from the Knicks home opener. Don't just listen, don't just watch. Be there.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
That's all we can do.
All right, so I got a couple of stats for you. Now, again, I will acknowledge the morning show because they brought this up. It caught my attention, and I thought,
and if you don't acknowledge it, God forbid, I mean, emails will get sent.
Get upset.
People will be upset. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's media, it's radio. People steal all the time. But I will acknowledge, as heard on DNR this morning, if you want to be a Jets fan, here's reason for optimism.
Okay.
If you want to believe that Aaron Glenn will actually win a game, if not more than one game, some fans don't want him to because they want that number one pick and get the quarterback. I understand. But the reason to believe why there is the potential for the Jets to escape this season without a 0 in the win column is this. Of the remaining schedule, the Jets have the fourth easiest remaining strength of schedule in the entire NFL.
Okay.
Fourth easiest. So they've got teams like the Saints, the Browns, the Dolphins, the Bengals, Panthers this week, which, again, and I acknowledge that all those teams I just mentioned, when you look at their remaining strength of schedule and you see their easier opponents, the Jets are on every one of them.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the Ravens, too, which, by the way, the Ravens are not the Ravens that we used to know. They are not good.
No.
So you got to feel like if Glenn is true to what he says about internally and the players still connected and they are just cleaning up some messes, they felt good about their defense last week and they build off that. He talked about consistency with their defense and then still building off an offense that has been a struggle. We don't know if Garrett Wilson's even going to play this Sunday, but the schedule does provide them the ability to at least play opponents that are as bad as they are. and you'd think just by, I don't know, even by accident, you might win one or two of these games.
They're not going to go 0-17. That's really, really hard to do. Yeah. But I also don't see them winning all these games either. Now, I watched a lot of the Bengal-Packer game, and listen, Flacco got off slow. but the Packers couldn't put them away until late. If the Bengals play that way against the Jets, they'll beat the Jets. Browns, that could be a win. Patriots are a lot tougher. Ravens eventually are going to figure it out, right? Falcons are a very, very good team, apparently. They just beat up on the Buffalo Bills.
Well, the Falcons are considered one of the strong teams that they're going to face to finish the year.
Looking at this schedule, guys, I would say the Jets are going to finish 3-14. I think
how about this?
Would 3-14 still be bad enough to get the number 1 seed?
Well, just remember, it'll be in the conversation for it. They'll be in the conversation for it at 3-14. But just remember, 3-14 means they go 3-8 down the stretch after going 0-6. I almost feel like if you're a Jets fan, I know this sounds horrible, you take that. How much better?
The Van Halen sounds worse.
I mean, they don't know. Real quick, Don, they don't know that the speakers work. They can't tell that the speakers work. I know for a fact it works.
I need Panama right now.
You rehearse in the garage, and then you come here and you just mic check 1, 2.
That's it.
Sibilance. And then you move on, right?
Oh, Don,
I mean, it takes a set to cover Van Halen too. By the way, this guy sounds great, but
when is this band playing? Pre-game?
They're probably playing in the
intermission. Yeah.
I didn't even know that's a thing. I don't know if I've ever heard a band during intermission at hockey.
Well, they got
Nashville.
Hockey has bands, and NBA has DJs.
Yes, that is. Oh yeah.
It's like
if you go to
two
Phoenix,
options
you
for
can't hear a
weddings.
thing. You can't
When
hear
you get
anything.
married, do you want an NBA wedding or an NHL wedding?
And you know me, I'm an NBA wedding all day.
Meanwhile, and again, if you're a Giants fan and you feel like, all right, with Dart out there and with Scatterboo and the way this defense can play, they really could have won 3 in a row, but they've got 2 here. You can really build off this. We've even talked about the trade deadline. Do they get aggressive? Do they make some moves? But one thing to look at is for the Giants, they have the 3rd hardest remaining schedule in the entire NFL. I mean, we've talked about this. The Packers, the Lions, the Eagles, who, they beat them once. Now the Eagles are going to want payback. Denver, a good defense. You're going to see them this week. 49ers team that is always a challenge. And the Patriots, guys, are considered a tough opponent because they've gotten off to a really good start to this season, and they got a little something going on up there in New England. So, did we get too excited about the Giants, and could this thing flop because they got to play a lot of really good teams now to finish out this season?
Well, did you get excited thinking this was going to be a playoff team because they beat the Eagles? Or I was just excited because it was an entertaining game and they look like they can actually play ball.
Okay.
I heard a caller on K earlier saying, don't make a trade for a wide receiver. You're not making the playoffs anyway. Make that deal during the offseason. And I'm like, well, that's somebody who's looking to see if they're going to make the playoffs. I just want to give the Giants the best chance to function and give my quarterback the best chance to be successful. And success to me, I'm going to be like the Yankees. I'm going to find different ways to succeed besides winning. But I think if it fits here of just being a good team, being competitive, making sure you got yourself a quarterback. And if that means you lose to the Packers and you lose to the Lions and you lose to the Patriots, so be it. Just don't lose 40-0. Lose 27-24 to the Packers, I'll feel better about it.
But
turn the ball over 5 times, Peter, and not be in the game, that's a different story.
Well, here's the hard part. If you're a Giants fan, it's not allowing your expectations to be the thief of joy. Because if the Giants win this weekend, Allen, against the Broncos, and let's say the Commanders lose to Dallas, but certainly on the table, Dallas can score, and the Commanders don't stop a lot of people. All of a sudden, you're a Giants fan, you're going, wait a second, we're 3-4. We're tied in second place right now. We're in the division. Let's see what we can do. By the way, I totally get that mentality. If it was my team, I'd feel the same way. But what you don't want to start doing is start getting sort of irrational hopes for this year and letting that get in the way of what you really want to do, which is just build this season and develop something over time and know if at the end you do, in fact, I'm sorry, guys, I'm not able yet, even after a few games and 2 wins, to say you know for a fact who Jackson Dart is. You are still in the process of deciding whether you have found the quarterback and you have something to be excited about moving forward. You know what I'm saying, Alan?
Yes.
Don't let the potential for the playoffs, because the NFL's wacky, start throwing you into a tizzy. Develop this team, develop this quarterback.
That's the plan all along for the Giants. That's how they've always approached this. But when you're a fan, it's very difficult to squelch anticipation when you see something that finally looks like it's going to hit and you want it to turn into that magical run, that moment that you go, okay, now we can start winning, right? And you got to tell a fan, nope.
Well, you know how big this week is for that?
Yes, it's huge.
If you end up beating the Broncos, which is on the table.
They are? Yeah, it's on the table. It's not crazy.
The Broncos are not a bad team, but they can be had. The difference emotionally in this city, think about a Tessa, for example. Think about the biggest Giant fan. Think about a Dave Rothberg.
That call Monday? Oof.
The difference between 3 and 4, I don't care what they say. I know they'll tell you, oh, no, we just want to see Jackson Dart play well. The difference between next Monday being 3 and 4 and 2 and 5 it's two different planets,
right.
Okay? You almost hope they go to 2 and 5 so they can be realistic. 3 and 4, we're going to be starting to make wild card weekend plans. I mean, that's where this thing is going.
It's a real thing.
I guess the thing that I fear, Peter, because you're right about everything you say, is that, all right, you start to win a couple of games here and you start to believe this team can make the playoffs. And then he has what most rookies will have is the Saint game again, where he turns the ball over 4 times.
Sure.
Now, is the fan base going to be like, oh, he's just a kid, or I can't believe it, they sucked us in, it's another bad quarter. Like, it's a tough city to do that in. And I'm not saying you got to react to the fans, but it's part of it too. It's like I just want to sit back and just see the team play well. I want to win games, and I'd love to see this team be a playoff team. I remember 1994. Giant fans remember 1994. The Giants got off to a miserable start. They had Dave Brown. The division wasn't very good. The conference wasn't very good, and they found themselves like being alive for the last day of the playoffs. For a playoff spot on the last day of the regular season. They had to beat the Dallas Cowboys, but the Packers had to lose. And the Cowboys mailed it in because they already clinched. So the Giants won the game, but the Packers beat Tampa, and the Giants missed the playoffs. And it was disappointing, but it didn't lead to anything because Brown wasn't the guy.
Right.
And 95, 96 happened, and everything kind of fell apart from there. I don't want something fugazi. I want to build towards something here. And I don't want to be on the fast track. I want it to be whatever the natural progression is. And I want to get a wide receiver to help the kid grow, not I want to sneak into the playoffs. So I don't know with that tough schedule, I just want to see what it looks like. For the Jets,
if this defense starts becoming that defense, like if they
let's carry let's carry this conversation over. Wow. Yep. Goal was scored. We hear Don. That's excellent. Great timing.
I love that. I need that more at 4:59:42.
Yeah. Perfect time for us to say we'll carry this conversation over in the 5 o'clock hour. Stay with us. 800-919-3776. We got calls to get to as well. Don, Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We've got a new issue on the belt eastbound over in Brooklyn. A crash right after Coney Island Avenue. Jam there from before the Verrazano. You're backed up into Bay Ridge. Westbound side, still have this accident in Queens right before Cross Bay Boulevard. Not moving much, heading over to JFK from Sunrise Highway. Just packed across the Upper East River at the Whitestone and Throgsneck Bridges. Solid ride there from the Bronx side. All of your approaches the outbound George are jammed. West Side Highway northbound, some solid slowdowns from the 50s on up. Inbound Georgia, about 15 to 20 for the upper deck. Lower level, about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Outbound Lincoln Orindia, 30 to 40. Outbound Helena, close to an hour. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Caffeine doesn't have to be bitter or boring anymore. 5-Hour Energy shots are bringing the flavor and energy. One of my personal favorites, Strawberry Banana. It's giving smoothie vibes in a compact caffeinated shot. Whether you like your energy sour, fruity, or tropical, with 17 flavors, there's something for everyone. And yeah, it's got as much caffeine as a 12-ounce cup of coffee, but with zero sugar and no crash. Big flavor, tiny bottle, tasty caffeine done right. You can grab yours in-store or hit up 5hourenergy.com or order on Amazon today.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
5:04 in the big city. With Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg, I'm Alan Hahn. We got you in the 5 o'clock hour at 800-919-3776. Don at The Rock with all the music and the pomp and circumstance of the home opener for the Devils tonight against the Florida Panthers. You can hear Don on the call on MSG Network tonight. Puck drop 7:30, Don?
No, it'll be puck drop will be like a little after 7 o'clock.
Okay, so it's a 7, so 7-ish. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's coming up on MSG. We got a lot of hockey tonight. Rangers playing tonight in Toronto. The Islanders have the Oilers at UBS. The Oilers are in town for the whole week, I guess.
Yeah,
and this
Saturday,
weekend, yeah, and then this weekend, of course, we have Week 7. Believe it or not, the Giants and the Broncos. So there's anticipation from Giants fans because the Broncos needed a lot, including the Jets helping them to beat the Jets in London, and the Giants coming off a huge win over the Eagles. And there's a sense of maybe they could get one here. And now, as Peter said, suddenly 3-4 looks a lot different than 2-5 would look, and the anticipation would continue to build. Denver is a 7.5-point favorite. They are home, but they are coming back from London. But they are home, and it's mile high and all that stuff. But I wanted to point out a quote that I saw from Jonathan Cooper, the linebacker of the Broncos, and I'm wondering if it is a little. Oh, great, we have it. This, guys, is what you would expect after what you saw from after the game Thursday night when the Giants won. And you love the youth and exuberance of Scatterboo and of Dart and how they were celebrating, the shirts ripping off, and the dancing, all that stuff. But you also know that's going to catch everyone's attention. Yeah. It caught Cooper's attention, the Denver Broncos linebacker. Here's what he said.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He's, feeling himself a little bit. He's out there running around. He's got the chain on. He's dancing. I feel like everybody needs something, But we've went against QBs who have ran around in the pocket and have tried to do stuff with their legs. So ain't nothing we haven't seen.
Mention the chain on.
Yeah.
That is something to watch when you are doing a little too much of it, is after a while you're going to, Scatterboo's already dealt with it with some of the defensive linemen where they're trying to get him hey, calm down. Dial it down, buddy. And that is one area, as we know with Dart, is he's got to slide more and stop trying to, battle through people. But once you get everybody's attention and they know you're going to dance, you're going to do a lot of that kind of stuff, the tackles are going to have a little something extra to them, right? The pursuit's going to have a little something extra. And I imagine you got the red dot now, right? Like you're on the radar now.
Yeah, you want to do your little dance? You're trying to do your dance? Well, we know you're waiting to do your dance.
It's just something to watch. I'm telling you, something to watch Sunday.
I'm just wondering how much New York plays into this. Like I mentioned about the Knicks, how they got a target on their back even though they didn't even go to the NBA Finals last year. Because you play in some markets, like you play in Denver, and you're a good team, and you play some nationally televised games, and here's this team that really was an embarrassment last year, is under 500 this year, and look at the attention they're getting for just winning one game against the Philadelphia Eagles. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles the week before. Nobody seemed to really care about it, and they're a winning team. They went to the playoffs last year. You hear the Giants, they won 3 games last year. They're on their way to probably winning 5 this year. They beat the Eagles, and all of a sudden everybody's going nuts, and Dart and Scattaboo are getting all this attention. I'm wondering if there's some markets and some players who are like, I want to shut these guys up. They haven't accomplished anything. We're so much better than them, and they're strutting around, and everybody's talking about them on Sports Center and
football. All of a sudden, they spend 60 minutes waxing poetic because what else you need to fill the time?
Especially now, right? Because what happens after the Thursday night game, Peter? They basically do like adjacent to a late night talk show.
Yeah.
And
with the winning team.
With the winning team
on the field, right.
And so it's almost like they're doing it's Letterman. And the league watches that stuff. The players probably watch that stuff. And so there might be an envy there. And then what happens on this Sunday night? It's a little toned down because they had to get to the news. But like Monday night,
not only that, and players are traveling and not watching as much.
Exactly.
But players on Thursday night, you think they're not sitting around with that game on and post game on? They all saw it.
And then what happens on Monday night? The star of the game is on SVP.
Yep.
He interviews him on the field. Like so, there's a
Scatterman
vibe
was on
to it.
SVP on Thursday night too.
Right. So, see, you're all over the place, and they're like, "Who is this guy? Can't even pronounce his name. He's on a 2-4 football team."
Guy's ripping his shirt off with Ryan Fitzpatrick on Prime. Yep.
We had a very interesting discussion off the air about that last week, about how we felt about it. It's not my cup of tea, but I get it. Younger players are going to show off and all that. I'm always the Barry Sanders, give the ball back to the official, act like you've been there before. But I'm not going to fight it.
But this was after the game, Don.
Younger generation's going to do that.
It's not for you. It's
not
a
for me.
Generation.
But you know what? Let's not. This gets brought up during baseball too. It's also not for a lot of players too, Alan. Like it's not just old and young. There's a lot of players around the league like, oh, look at these punks.
Yeah.
You're 2-4. Shut up. And whether that's right or wrong doesn't matter because if I'm getting paid to tackle him or chase him down in the backfield, you don't think that gives me maybe a little more added motivation? Did I get the shut that guy up?
Bart always told me, he said that guy gets the red dot. And you know what that means?
Of course.
Like, okay, now you're in the crosshairs. You're the target now. We're going to make sure. We're going to let you know. Like, okay, you're a big star now. Oh, like you're running around teams, you're dancing. Okay. Let's see how let's see if you dance after this hit. And that's a real thing. Now, I love the enthusiasm. As I said Friday, I think the franchise desperately needed that kind of injection of enthusiasm and optimism and bravado. I think they desperately needed it. You could tell Dable loves it. I mean, he practically kissing him on the cheek. I think didn't he kiss him on the cheek at one point? Like he really was
headbutted him. I know that.
Whatever it was, but you could just see like he is just all about him, which is great. And those two, it's like the buddy cop movie we didn't know we needed between he and Scatterman because they're both just these
right.
These college bros coming into the NFL, just having a great time, chugging a beer and ripping off T-shirts. But as you know, okay, you got everyone's attention. This is that type of game. They got Nick Bonito. He'll get after the quarterback. They've got a defense. I know it's Sean Payton, and everybody talks about offense with Sean Payton. They got a defense that gets after it. And they are well aware of the Giants. Well aware of the Giants and these two guys.
And maybe not as well aware if it had been just a quiet 2-4, but it's kind of a loud 2-4 now. And again, both could be true because I am 100% with you. The Giant fans needed that. They needed that moment. It's been a real rough couple of years. And
I loved it.
So you get it. And a little attitude goes a long way. I think both can be true. But it does put a target on your back. And they're two kids that are going to make their mistakes. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dart, even if he's on his way to Hall of Fame career, goes to Denver and throws 3 picks and a pick 6 and maybe cost the Giants the game. Because that's part of the growth process of this. And you take a look at their schedule. You mentioned it, and what's coming up after this, having to play the Eagles again. You don't think the Eagles are going to have a chip on their shoulder?
Absolutely.
As broken as they are. Mm-hmm. They're going to have it back in Philadelphia. They're going to want to pay the Giants back, and then you've got teams like the Packers and the Lions. So even the best of teams have a difficult time navigating through that schedule. That's why, as frustrated as I am, they lost to the Saints and the Cowboys, and how much different things would look if they were 3-3, 4-2. This is kind of what it is. So let's just move forward, forget the record, and just play better football. Let's see if we got a quarterback, a running back, and a coach, and move forward that way.
800-919-3776. Back to the calls we go. Let's go to Victor in Roselle Park. Victor?
How you doing, guys?
What's up, Victor?
Good. The only thing I wanted to say, I'm excited about what's going on, but I want to temper it because I think one thing that has been decided, and I guess we can argue this, but I think we don't have a coach. I think we have a good quarterback coach or a good offensive coordinator. My concern is the way that Jackson Dart plays. If he gets hurt, then we're not going to be any good anymore because Dable has already shown us that he can't work with somebody who's not his guy. And some of the great coaches in this league, like the one from Minnesota, San Francisco's coach, you plug in another quarterback, they look like a competent team. And now we got Daniel Jones in Indy with a good coach who's found out how to work with him. So I think one thing we have learned is that Dable isn't the right coach. And unfortunately, all this excitement and all these wins that we may get this year might make us hold on to Dable. And with the way Jackson Dart plays, if he gets hurt, we're not going to be any good again.
So are you, Victor, what are you rooting for here then? Because it sounds like you're concerned with the more Dart plays well, the more Dable is going to be secure in his job, which is entirely accurate. But as a Giants fan, are you conflicted right now on what to root for?
No, because I'm a Giants fan. I'm rooting for the Giants to do well. Okay. I just feel like if this in fact happens where Dart is playing well enough, that we're going to be stuck in another limbo because, let's just say Dart is will remind me a little bit of Burrow, getting hurt every year. And then now we're stuck with Dable because they're going to say, oh, well, Dable needs his guy. Dable needs his guy.
Well, I mean,
the Giants need a guy.
Well, first of all, you're throwing injury into it.
You also just
thank you,
compared
Victor.
him to Burrow in any way possible.
But you're right. I mean, I think what he's trying to say is, let's say they do discover the quarterback, and that makes you keep the coach, and then he turns out to be Joe Burrow, where he can't stay healthy, and then you got a terrible coach. That's just trying. You're digging too deep to find negative.
Yeah.
All right. If your quarterback gets hurt, you're in trouble no matter what.
Yeah, no matter who's your
coach.
All right,
you could have Joe Gibbs and Bill Parcells. Yeah. If your quarterback's hurt every year, you're not winning.
I agree. He's found his quarterback. So as a Giant fan, good. If that means I got to keep Dable, then if he's got the quarterback and the quarterback's going to play well, fantastic. I mean, I'm not worried about how he's going to be with other quarterbacks if this guy gets hurt, because all coaches look bad when their starting quarterback gets hurt. All right, so I want to see what this looks like at the end of the day. That's why I like to write records are folly, right? Because we now feel good about this team, right? We felt better about this team than we felt probably since 2022, just because they beat a dysfunctional Eagle team, right? But still, that's how much we've longed to see good football.
The Chargers win is a quality win.
Right, the Chargers win, but then they lost the last week and almost lost to the Dolphins.
The New Orleans was exactly what you said. It's sort of like that's when the young player who's starting to feel himself has that bad game that brings him back down to earth. Now he's got the Eagle game that puts him back up in the stratosphere. Mm-hmm. Is the Broncos game one against a really tough defense going to bring him back to earth again? This is the roller coaster you're going to ride.
That's why I thought it was folly to talk about, well, he's got to win X amount of games, because we feel good about the Giants right now. But do you have them necessarily beating the Broncos? Well, Vegas doesn't. They're a 7.5-point dog. Yeah. And what are they going to do against the Eagles in the revenge game? What are they going to do against the Packers, against the Lions, against an upstart Patriot team? You see what I'm saying? Like, really, honestly, let's say this Giant team is for real, and that Dart and Scadaboo are going to be, with the way they were against the Eagles, more often than not the rest of the year. Like, how many of these games do you really still see them winning? They could play well against Denver and lose by 3. I think it's going to be real tough to win in Philadelphia. Packers, Lions, they could play their absolute best and lose to those teams. So really, how much is the record change? What do you think this record's going to be now? They got 2 wins. What do they got? 11 games left? Honestly.
11
seriously.
games left.
How many?
Yeah, they have a lot of time. I told you, they have the third hardest remaining strength of schedule. And this is here's all you need to know. They're the easiest opponents, quote unquote, that are considered. Among them, the Cowboys and the Commanders. How are you possibly look at AFC opponents as easy opponents?
And the Saints just beat them. And the Saints are one of the worst teams in the league. Yeah. So honestly, it's interesting because Peter looks at the Giants as a rival, and rightly so. They're in the division and all that. But like, realistically, how many more wins do you think they're going to get? 3?
But it's so true,
4?
though. What Peter said is so true. 3 and 4 looks so much different than 2 and 5, and how one game this week, if it falls right, if Denver's got a little lag in them because they came back from London, and their offense still can't get on track. The Giant defense frustrates Bo Nix and their running game, and now all of a sudden you just find a way that the Jets couldn't find a way.
Right.
And pull out a win because you do kick the field, whatever it is.
It all changes.
And you head back to New York at 3 and 4. Playing the Eagles? Hello?
They just lost to the Saints, beat the Eagles, and everybody's up, going crazy. So if they beat the Broncos and make it 2 in a row, forget about it. Now the narrative is going to change.
And then that game in Philadelphia now has all kinds of repercussions, right?
But it just shows you. Doesn't it just show you guys how desperate we were to see good football?
Yes.
That we are high on a team that just lost 2 weeks ago to the worst team in football in the Saints.
That's right.
And beat an Eagle team that is completely lost.
Yeah.
Well, they're lost, but they're 4-2. It is what it is. And they're the Super Bowl champs.
But you know how big a Giant fan I am, but you can't tell me the Eagles didn't contribute to that game, okay?
They did.
And they're mad. But the Giants smacked them around, which is good, and it was fun, and you hate the Eagles, and you're down on Saquon Barkley. So it felt really good. But I think you got to be realistic, and we could be sitting here on Monday talking about a team that just is still not that great.
But what a perfect follow-up couple of games you have.
Yeah.
Because Denver's a sort of middle of the road team, and then you're at Philly again. You get to find out how real that is.
Yeah.
Home San Francisco, not a team you cannot play against. Not this year. You can play against San Francisco. At Chicago, why not? So before you get to that brutal stretch at the end, you play a handful of games here that can really show you where you are.
It's interesting because you did it in order. I was just cherry picking the tough games. You can find an avenue to victory over the next 4, right? Denver coming back from London, you can catch him in the right spot. You haven't played for 10 days, so maybe you're a little bit more well rested. The next week, maybe Philadelphia is really broken, and you could beat them again.
Who knows?
And then San Francisco, San Francisco's 4-2, but it's kind of been ugly, and the Bears, they just coming off a huge win, but
I mean a huge win that they needed to win the turnover battle 3-0 and still barely won the game.
Right.
So that's a beatable team. They're a good team. They're decent, but you could beat the Bears.
Peter, from your lips to God's ears, if we're sitting here and if they win the next 4 games and are 6-4.
Well, forget it.
I'll be like
will you be like Dave?
I'll meat sweats.
Will like Dave will do something with your butt cheeks?
No,
like Dave always talks about?
I can't imagine there's
Not
anything.
going that far?
Listen, I just was given the dream job, my life work in the Devil Gang. Never even came into thought about that.
You'd spread something.
I never thought. Never came, Peter. It never occurred to me when they called and said, "Would you be interested in the Devil job?" My butt, it didn't enter the conversation. Never mind opening it up.
Your butt never entered the conversation.
I've seen my team win Super Bowl. I saw the helmet catch. Again, nothing happened below the waist.
No, nothing happened below the waist. Helmet catch? Nothing?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I can't believe we're having this conversation. It's more front than back. There's no back conversation at all. Never mind.
Sure.
It's closed.
No.
I think Dave. I think Dave revealed a little bit more than he wanted to in that.
But now
segment.
he's leaning into it, so I respect it. Let's go to Jay in Queens. Jay, you're up next.
Hi, good afternoon, guys. You guys are great entertainment for New York traffic. As a Giant fan, I'm kind of with you, Don. I want to have tempered expectations. I want to see how the progression of Dart goes. And I want them to be competitive with the schedule they have. I don't expect them to win any more than 2 or possibly 3 games. I think the excitement is not so much that they won 2 games, it's just who they beat. They were good teams that when we looked at the early part of the schedule, we didn't expect them to be in any of those games. And even though Philly contributed to the Giants losing, I think as Giants fans, we're used to the Giants finding a way to give that game right back. So I'm hoping that they give this kid a chance to develop and we don't get too much early success because I think that did Daniel Jones in. And the last thing I'll say is with Dart Scatterbo, I think they're kind of the anti-Giant in the sense of what we're used to. He's totally opposite of someone like Eli and Scatterbo, and I don't think we're really used to that. So it makes it even like a little bit more glorified if it is, because these guys that we've had as great Giants were never like that. So it's something for us to have to get used to as Giant fans, but hopefully it's, a taste of what's to come. Take care, guys. Enjoy the week.
Thank you, Jay. Think about what a difference, guys, Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are in comparison to Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo when it comes to personality, right?
It's different, but it was just, you're right, the timing of it was needed. It's been a rough time, and to have entertaining athletes to kind of have fun, they leaned into it. It was good, but it might have caught the eye of a few people. So
this town needs an enema. Who's behind you?
That's Ken Danico. Say hi, Ken.
Oh, look. There he is.
It's Danico.
Home opener. Dano. Ready to go, baby. Here's perspective for you. The power rankings for ESPN, right, for Week 7. The Giants last week in Week 6 were 30th out of the 32 teams.
Right.
They are now 25th.
Okay.
So 5 spots moving up is pretty significant.
That is.
But it's still 25th.
Yeah, it's still 20. You still are what you are,
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you got the guy, but you definitely have to take this, I hate to say the cliche, 1 week at a time. One segment at a time. Your calls at 800-919-3776 on the football. The Yankees, they have their, what do you want to call it? The end of season where you hear from, I don't want to say mea culpa because they didn't really do that.
No.
They just addressed the end of the season. Brian Cashman.
You can't say it was an explanation because they didn't explain.
Well, nothing was explained. In fact, when you hear Aaron Boone, when he was asked about why he and Cashman and all the leadership is the right men for the job to help the Yankees win the World Series, his answer doesn't quite give you great confidence, and it didn't sound like he had it either. That'll be coming up and more with your calls. The Knicks as well, one more preseason game tomorrow night. Lots of hockey tonight. We got to talk some hockey. Don has the Devils' home opener tonight at the Rock with all the pomp and circumstance going on behind them. Meanwhile, more football coming up with Damian Woody. He'll join us next day with us. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Every NFL Thursday,
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We've got a new issue on the belt eastbound over in Brooklyn. A crash right after Coney Island Avenue. Jam there from before the Verrazano. You're backed up into Bay Ridge. Westbound side, still of this accident in Queens right before Cross Bay Boulevard. Not moving much, heading over to JFK from Sunrise Highway. Just packed across the Upper East River at the Whitestone and Throgsneck Bridges. Solid ride there from the Bronx side. All of your approaches the outbound George are jammed. West Side Highway northbound, some solid slowdowns from the 50s on up. Inbound Georgia, about 15 to 24, the upper deck. Lower level, about a 5 to 10 minute ride. Outbound Lincoln Orania, 30 to 40. Outbound Helena, close to an hour. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. Now, they converted my kids' bathtub to a shower and did an incredible, really an unbelievable job. They offer all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit done in just one day. Durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and lower cost than a standard replacement. And a lifetime guarantee. Right now, no money down, no payments, no interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today like we did at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
The Damian Woody Report is brought to you by Bet365. Two football teams going in opposite directions in a Week 7 to preview that begins tonight. And we do it with Damian Woody, our friend, our weekly spot here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, guys. How you guys doing?
Well, the Giants, man, I mean, nobody expected them to beat the Eagles, never mind destroy them. And now everybody's high on this team. Where do you think they can go with this? Was this a one-off, or is this maybe a sign that they finally kind of figured it out and will be a better football team over these last 11?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we don't know. That's the answer, to be quite honest with you. We know the struggles that the Philadelphia Eagles have had, with their team, and the Giants have played an absolute great game against them. Obviously, we continue to talk about the energy that the young guys have been playing. Because the quarterback and the running back, those guys have been outstanding, and it permeates to the rest of the squad. And so, listen, this is the thing when you play young guys. You're going to get the highs and you're going to get the lows. And so the thing you strive for is consistency. We just need to see more of what we saw against the Philadelphia Eagles before we can really start to draw a conclusion about the Giants.
D. Wood, on the Jets, you had a lot to say this week in the last couple of days about the Jets situation. I know you got blood in the ground there, so it's personal, but all of it really resonated with me. And the first thing I wanted to ask you about just out of the gate was a tweet that you had in regards to basically saying, if you're going to give me nothing as a passer, then put Tyrod in there. It's not fair to the rest of the team that's fighting their tails off right now. So you made it pretty clear. If you were an offensive lineman, you'd be saying on that sideline, how are we not making a change? which we all thought was happening at halftime. It didn't, and it's still not happening. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, here's my thing. You watch the game, and this is the first time in, I don't know, all year that the Jets defense came to play. Those guys played inspired football, and the special teams came to play as well. They got great field position for most of the game. And so it was clear as day that the quarterback, whether you want to call him shook, he just played too conservative. He's taking sacks. He's scared to let the ball rip. Whatever you want to call it, he was a detriment to the team, helping the team win a football game. I think that's the most important thing. Like, it's not about somebody's feelings. It's about winning a football game because you owe it to the other guys in the locker room to do what's best in the best interest of the team. That doesn't mean you got to bench him moving forward. It just means that, hey, at this point in time, we need a spark in this game to try to win a football game, and then we'll deal with the rest later.
How draining is it, though, for a defense, Damian, to do the job and the offense can't deliver, more than 14 points to get you a win?
Yeah, it's draining. I mean, I've been on the other side where the offense can, offense doing things and the defense can't do anything. And so it's after a while, man, what you tend to see is, you can bring about schisms in the locker room because guys feel like, hey, man, you guys not holding up your end of the bargain. We're fighting our tails off. And yeah, it's a team sport, but man, we need to play complementary football. We need something from you guys. And so, I know those guys, Aaron Glenn is trying to keep those guys, a tight-knit unit, and all those guys don't say the right things. But, man, it's just disappointing when you're seeing, 2 out of the 3 units, really battling, and one just really was detrimental in the loss, last week.
Of a young head coach or a coach that's in over his head?
Well, listen, I think we're going to, it's too early to say right now, but I think here's my thing, Don. As the season progresses, you want things to be going upward. If this team continues to trend, continue to lose and continue to trend downward, then you got to start having discussions like, hey, man, listen, is this the right man for the job? Because if the Jets continue to trend this way, they're going to be picking number 1. And guess what? You're probably going to pick a quarterback. Do you want the same coach coaching a rookie quarterback? These are all the questions that are going to come up as the season continues to move forward.
Joe Chipman said something that I heard that I wondered what you think about when it comes to getting back to the quarterback conversation with the Jets and Justin Fields. You had said also in one of your tweets that he looks scared to throw the ball, and there's been a lot of talk about how long he holds the ball, and he even pushed back. You could tell it bothers him, that kind of criticism. He said, well, at scramble quarterbacks, you're going to have the longer time before you throw. Joe Chipman said if Fields needs 6 seconds to throw the ball, then we have to give him 6 seconds. Is that the responsibility of the offensive line?
Well, I mean, listen, that's what he's supposed to say. But, listen, in this league, if you get 2.5 seconds, that's really the mark of demarcation right there. After that, once you get into the 3.5 seconds, that is highly unusual for quarterbacks in the National Football League. I think the thing that and this has been the mark on Justin Fields his whole career, is that he's been a slow processor and he holds onto the football and he takes sacks, whether it's, in Chicago, in Pittsburgh, and now here. It's been all the same thing. And as an offensive line, there's only so much you can do. Okay, there's only so long you can block because guess what? The other guys on the other side get paid too.
Is there a place that you could see it working for a guy like Fields? Because, I would argue, D, that, there is no worse a place for a developing quarterback than the Jets. But is there any place that someone with his skill set would work in the NFL, or is just, having him as a little backup situation the ideal spot for Justin Fields?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some bright minds in this league. Whether you're talking about the Kelvin O'Connells, the Sean McVays, and, there's a plethora of guys like that. But, at some point the book is getting written up. The book is written on you. You're a guy that doesn't process well and holds on to the football. Right. And I think part of the thing with a guy like Justin is this is not Ohio State. You can't just wait, wait for the guy to come completely open. In this league, you have to throw people open. The windows are tight. You can't be scared, and you can't hold on to the football because I've said it many a times. Sacks are so detrimental to whether a team can score on a possession. So I don't know if he can clean it up, but the book is already being written right now.
Talking to Damian Woody's weekly spot here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. This is going to sound like a lame question, but it's a legitimate one because I don't know the answer. Who's the best team in football?
That's a great question. You know what? I wouldn't bet against Kansas City right now.
Wow.
I would not bet
Peter,
against Kansas City.
We're back.
I would not bet against Kansas City right now. Think about it. Over the past couple of weeks, this has probably been the best their offense has looked. They're getting Rashid Rice back this week, okay? Their defense is still playing pretty good football. Are any of you guys willing to bet against Patrick Mahomes right now?
It's hard to.
Starting to feel that way, and I hate
Buffalo was I thought Buffalo was finally going to have that breakthrough season, but the last 2 weeks, they also show you warts, man. It's hard not to default back to the Chiefs.
Well, here's the thing with Buffalo, okay? They don't have any elite weapons. Outside of James Cook, the running back, they don't have any elite perimeter weapons. And their defense, quite honestly, is bad. They're bad on defense. And so everything falls on Josh Allen to be Superman all the time. And, you see now what the state of the Buffalo Bills is.
Damien, I know it's a little bit sad to admit this, but, can we just accept that given the state of preseason and everything, we'll probably have a real idea of who the best teams are in football, first week of November?
Guys, I've always said, Thanksgiving is when the tide turns. Thanksgiving is when the tide – and Coach Belichick used to tell us all the time, around Thanksgiving, that's when the cream of the crop really starts to rise. It's still early right now. People are still trying to formulate and, get their identity, everything settled. But I agree with you, Peter. When we hit November, that's when you're going to start to see teams start separating themselves.
I'm worried that the Patriots not only found their next guy before the Jets ever found theirs, but that they also are onto something. They got the coach in Mike Vrabel. I thought at first early in the season, they could be sneaky good. But I don't think there's anything sneaky about the Patriots. What are you seeing from your former team?
Well, in the preseason, I said the Patriots were going to make the playoffs this year. That's what I said in the preseason. I said last week that Drake May is playing like a top 5 quarterback right now. And then they have, in my opinion, one of the best coaches in the National Football League, in Mike Vrabel. And so when you combine all that, and those guys, they have a talented roster. Yeah, they have holes, on offense, I think at wide receiver, but overall they have a pretty talented roster. So now you're starting to see they basically sent a message to Buffalo, like the years of y'all dominating the AFC East is over. We are back now, and that's what we're seeing.
Is Baltimore dead?
You know what? I said that I didn't see Baltimore making the playoffs, but here's the thing. Okay, they got a bye. Lamar Jackson's going to come back after the bye. Their schedule is so weak after the bye. I can't legitimately write them off because Baltimore is one of those teams where if they can flip the script defensively and get better, they can rip off a ton of wins and find themselves right back in the mix.
Icy hot bowl tonight. Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco. The Steelers are in a situation that I don't even think they expected. As you mentioned, the Ravens, you thought they'd be good every year. They're not. The Bengals, just the fact that they have Joe Flacco as the quarterback says all you need to know because Burrow hurt again. We know the Browns situation. You think Rodgers can lead the Steelers to win in this division?
Absolutely. The one thing that Rodgers does is he rarely turns the football over. And that's what he's done throughout his career. He's protected football. He's playing well. And their defense has gotten better as the season has moved forward. I think the biggest thing with the Steelers is, they're dependent on a lot of veteran guys, older veteran guys. Can those guys stay healthy throughout the 17-game stretch? But right now, they're clearly in the driver's seat in the AFC North.
Damien, I was asked this question. I'll throw it at you. Who's going to win first, the Jets or the Islanders?
Oh, man. Oh, golly, man. I'm going to go with the Islanders.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Islanders. But, man, I'm going with the Islanders. That's what I'm going with.
You know why? Oilers tonight. Remember, Oilers have been in New York all week. New York's undefeated. You know that, right? Like they've been in New York now a couple of nights. Might steal one tonight. What do you think?
I think so. You know, sometimes when you're in places like New York and Miami, you get distracted and get caught up with the scenery. So I'm with you on that. I think they get it.
All right. Damian, thanks, man. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, that's the Damian Woody Report, which is brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You got the carnival.
So now
music,
we're in full keyboard
organ.
practice.
Yeah,
full
we got
organ
the organ
practice.
going. At least it's organ, though.
That's
That's old school hockey.
I can live with this.
Yeah, no, organ's acceptable compared to the high school band preparing.
Yeah, but no Lady of Spain, please.
I would take Lady of Spain over the.
But you got the
Van
reference.
Halen cover.
As long as you got the reference, that's all that matters. Let's talk a little pucks coming up. Why not? We got three teams playing tonight. We got the Devils home opener with Don on the call. The Rangers are at home, so they might score, right? Because they're not home. So we'll see what goes on there. And, of course, the Islanders and the Oilers and more. The Nick conversation we had earlier, they have their last preseason game tomorrow. They got some guys on the injury report today. It's concerning, but they do have a couple of days for their opener next Wednesday. So lots more to get to with you. 800-919-3776. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
There's nothing the voice in our head obsesses over like our health. But with over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help answer the questions like, why am I so tired all the time? How can I get better sleep? My friend was telling me about magnesium gummies she takes. How do I even know if my heart is work stress affected? It's time to up my cardio. If my mom has something, how will I find out? It's time to get some blood work done. A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Don't take slow for an answer. Not so easy when you're stuck in traffic. But mere inches from someone else's bumper, you can dream of faster things. Like Optimum Fiber, the fastest and most reliable fiber internet, starting at $40 a month. So while you can't always switch lanes for a faster route, you can switch providers for a faster connection. Optimum. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/fiber today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Just printed from the Erie Canal Press, the most coveted ticket, New York Lottery's $1 million raffle, hath arrived. 15 fortunate souls shall come into the fortune of a millionaire.
Translation, the $1 million raffle is here, and 15 winners are going to become millionaires. The New York Lottery commemorates 200 years of the Erie Canal with your best odds of winning $1 million. Limited tickets available. Ask your local retailer today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Okay, girls, ready to go?
Yeah! Mom, I'm hungry. Can I have a snack? Me too, Mommy.
You want a snack?
Yeah!
Got it?
Children learn from our behaviors. Mommy, can you open this,
All right, hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, here.
Thank you. They learn what is okay from the adults they see. Mommy, are you on your phone?
If you're a distracted driver, chances are they will be too. What kind of driver are you raising? Funded by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
All right, welcome back. Game Time brought to you by Tullamore Irish Whiskey. Because, Donnie, when it's game time,
it's Tully time. It's Tully time.
Certainly is. Thursday night football, of course, the Icy Hot Bowl. You got Rodgers and Flacco. You got the Steelers and the Bengals. That's the football side of things. You do have some baseball right now going on. NLCS Game 3. ALCS Game 4 coverage follows the Ranger game tonight on 880. Speaking of the Rangers, they are in Toronto, which means they might score a goal. They're not home. They play the Maple Leafs. Coverage immediately follows us right here on 880 at 6:30. Note the start time, so we have ENN coming up, and then we're done.
Yes.
Devils home opener against the Panthers. You hear the organ playing in the background at the Rock. That's where Don is. Devils-Panthers kicks off at 7 on MSG. You can hear the dulcet tones of Don LaGreca on the call, and we hope we hear him say, stick a pitchfork in him. Islanders host the Oilers at 7:30. Connor McDavid making his annual appearance on Long Island. And, of course, that is all the hockey tonight. And with that, Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. With that in mind, Don, let's talk some pucks. Big hockey night tonight here in New York. On the Rangers first. Just quickly, so Trocheck being out, long-term IR, that's a concern, obviously, losing your center.
Yeah.
But what's happening with them offensively? I don't want to keep joking about moral victories, but they have sounded optimistic despite the fact they haven't scored at home and losing these games.
Well, 30 shots on goal against Edmonton, some high-quality opportunities. Sometimes you got to tip your cap to the goaltender. Now, Stuart Skinner did go to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. I don't think he's a great goaltender, but he's capable of stealing a game, and Charlie Lindgren was great on Sunday. Now, that can't be the answer every single night. Eventually, you got to crack the code on these guys, but the only stinker I thought was the opening night against Pittsburgh, because then they turned around to beat Pittsburgh 6-1 the next time they played them in Pitt. So I wouldn't be concerned. Tonight, I would think it'd be wide open, a lot of fun to watch two high-powered octane offense, especially with Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going to be okay. I still think they're a playoff team, and Trocheck is a problem because center is a problem.
Yeah.
And you can't also have your best line be your fourth line, even though they don't like to label lines as 1 through 4. But Carrick, Enstrom, and Rempe are supposed to be your fourth rotation, and at times they look like the most dominant guys on the ice. So I think that'll change. I think they're going to be fine.
I mean, Sullivan's been relatively optimistic after some of these games. I think JT Miller has been as well. But you do reach a point where you're gonna need a win. Like the good efforts have to result in winning. They believe it's coming, like you just said, but that is a real thing, though. At some point, it just gets, now, wait a minute. Okay, it can't be a good performance if you're not winning, but they do believe in the process. In the meantime, the Devils tonight, it's a tough home opener. You got the Panthers, again, they're only the best team in the league the last 2 years, but the bigger concern was the concern I brought up to you when we talked about the Devils this season, and you've mentioned it too. The Devils have a good roster. They have excellent goaltending. The problem is injuries. And right away, the Markstrom injury, their goaltender, their number one guy, who's going to be out for a couple of weeks, like right out of the gate, Donnie, that's got to feel like the rug pulling out from underneath you as you're just trying to get started. They've had really good offense in these first couple of games. They have looked good. The Carolina game to start the season, they struggle in Carolina. But the last 2 games, especially that Columbus game, you're talking about Tampa was impressive, but the Columbus game, the way they played, you got to feel good about where they're going. But then this injury happens, and if they can only get some traction and not have these injuries early in the season.
Now, the Carolina game, Carolina's got their number, but they did come back 3 times from down a goal. They lost the game 6-3, but that was a 3-3 game late in the third period. The Tampa and Columbus game, I thought they really clamped down in the third period and held on, and it wasn't their goaltender standing on his head. So they've played very well, I think, defensively. And they've been able to be 2-1 with Jack Hughes having 1 point and it's an assist. So I think the sky could be the limit for this team. And tonight, on the surface, Florida's a tough team. 2 times defending Stanley Cup champions. No Barkov tonight, no Kachuk tonight, no Kulikov tonight. And Bobrovsky played last night. There's Tarasov, their backup goaltenders in. And the Devils, have played. It's funny. They've won 4 straight games in Florida. They've lost 5 straight games here against the Panthers.
Oh, wow.
So kind of weird, but you're not getting the Panthers at full strength. You're getting them in the second of back-to-backs because they played last night in Detroit and lost. They're 3-0 at home, 0-2 on the road. So see if the Devils can take advantage of that. Connor McDavid, coming up on Saturday before they have to go to Toronto on Tuesday. So the schedule gets tougher, but you're right. Jake Allen's a good goaltender, but he had to leave because of cramps, and then Markstrom gets hurt. So Nico Dawes is up. Not what you want early in the season, losing your number one goaltender.
All right, so you have the home opener, which means packed house, energetic crowd. Your first 2 games of the regular season have been on the road. Now, the atmosphere's been good on the road, but it's different when it's home. Do you think you might have a little extra something tonight, a little extra juice tonight because it's a home crowd? When the first goal that's scored, it's going to be loud, and you're going to be right there yelling into it.
No, fans are already filing in. We're close to the ice here at the Rock. This is the worst place in the league broadcast-wise because you're really high up, but luckily now doing TV, I'm down low, so I'm close to the ice. I'm somewhat in the crowd, which is cool. And, it's not quite to the Nick level of anticipation for this season, but I think Devil fans are really excited about what this season was going to be about. So I'm really fired up to be here. This is pretty amazing. I've been here all day. I'm really pumped. I can't wait.
Oh, we know.
The game will ultimately dictate how exciting it is. A good game, obviously, you get blown out. It's a different story, but at least from an anticipation standpoint, it's pretty much through the roof here. Mike Rupp is part of our broadcast tonight.
Oh, I love Rupp.
Hello.
First time I had seen him in a while.
Oh, the Rupper, baby. That's
Love
right.
Rupp.
He loves the nickname.
Now, listen, hold on, though, guys. This is important because, yes, you have big hockey, but you also have NFL on a Thursday, all right?
It was mentioned.
And that means it's your chance to hit the big jackpot on FanDuel, all right? Because here's the deal. Bet fair, because with FanDuel's Thursday touchdown jackpot, you can win a share of $2 million in bonus bets each week. To get in on the Thursday action, all you got to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last TD of the game, you'll win your bet plus a share of bonus bets. Just visit FanDuel.com/Peter to take a shot at the jackpot. That's FanDuel.com/Peter for your chance to get a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among an eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. And even if you bet the football, you could throw your bet down and then still flip on the old Devils game and hang out with Donnie Pucks. It's all right there for you, Alan.
I love it. It's a lot of multitasking tonight when you're watching sports. You know what's coming up next, right, boys?
Oh, come on, like you dream about.
ENN.
Yay!
Stay with us. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
It's another big weekend on the Fine Line. Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz, Saturday at 8 a.m. The Wiz talks about all the big games, including USC at Notre Dame and number 5 Ole Miss taking on number 9 Georgia. In the NFL, the Rams take on the Jaguars in London, and Jackson Dart and the Giants are in Denver. Plus, the Wiz talks baseball, hockey, soccer, and yes, the Knicks are back. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz, Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of the night. We're going to start off in Jersey. Devils are home at the Rock in Newark. Packed ride on the Turnpike Eastern and Western Spurs southbound, heading over to 280 in Kearney. Bumper to bumper from the Vince Lombardi and Richfield on down. 280 jammed in both directions, heading over to 21 in the Stickle Drawbridge. Eastbound, especially tough. Delays from before the Garden State Parkway. Inbound, George, stick with the lower deck if you can. Crash on the upper level, making it a 30 to 40-minute ride. You stay jammed on the Cross Bronx eastbound. A broken down SUV in the left lane by the Deegan. Heading over to the outbound, George, just no easy way to do it. All of your approaches are crawling. Deegan southbound, slam from the Mosholu on down. Outbound Lincoln, your best ride at 45 minutes. Outbound Hahn, run you over an hour. Islanders home at the UBS Arena. Some solid pockets of slowdowns on the Cross Island southbound between the Throgs Neck Bridge and Hempstead Turnpike. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is an ENN special report. Now reporting,
the very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Hi. How's everyone doing? Great. Welcome to ENN.
Ray-Ro.
You ever watch YouTube?
I'd like to start off ENN tonight by saying good evening to my friend Don LaGreca.
No, this is ridiculous. Sorry, guys.
And I'd also like to say good evening to Don.
Yeah. Let's carry boys. Let's carry this conversation. Wow.
There's only so much you can do.
This is the life we chose. We
That's
chose
it.
this.
I think it's on now. I might have to say goodnight.
Did you say anything to anyone? Did you tell anyone, like, hey, I'm trying to do a program here?
I mean, I talked to the MSG people about finding me someplace else to do it in the future, but what are you going to do?
How are you? What's the energy like there at the Rock? It's feeling
it's awesome,
ramped up for an opener.
I don't even think they need the music. People are really excited, but I mean, I'm at a concert right now.
I know it's
so. And I don't think it's going to stop now because now people are in the building. They were playing in front of no one, so I think they're going to take advantage and start wanting to play in front of people. So,
you know what? So we were wrong.
Had a cover. I didn't know they had a house band at the Rock. That's great.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, and it's probably not done. It was probably not intermissions. This is probably the concert.
Yeah,
it's the whole lead up to the game.
Because this isn't good, right? This is bad.
It's not great. What do you mean?
You're fine. We got you.
Yeah, you're fine. It's barely noticeable.
Just get on top of the mic. Just get closer.
I think
get right up
can
on
handle ENN.
No, we need you in this. Get right up on that mic. Put two hands on it and just get right up on it.
It's really, Alan. Really.
That's it, Don. Get right there. Attaboy.
Now try talking, Don.
I'm not even hearing you guys. So
I think we should pull the plug on this now.
Here we go.
I love you, and there's always tomorrow.
Good night.
Right?
We'll get try tomorrow. Bye, Don. Have a great call. We love you, buddy. Well, that was something else. That is Don LaGreca live from the Prudential Center. Well, listen,
more
we're going to
figure
out.
Calls and more defending of Glenn on Don LaGreca's show with Alan Hahn.
That was interesting.
Boy, Peter Rosenberg.
How about that day? How about that? Was that a Freudian slip?
No, that was Thank you for bringing that back, guys. I had forgotten it. Can I hear that one more time? What was he trying to do?
More of your calls and more defending of Glenn on Don LaGreca's show with Alan Hahn.
That was interesting. Boy,
Peter
was
Rosenberg.
On Don LaGreca's show. He always wanted to say that, didn't he, Peter?
Yeah, but no, you're missing it. You're missing it.
What am I missing?
That is because that was simply the recovery from someone who in the moment had completely fallen apart. Like he was trying to say more defending of Glenn on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg because he'd gotten accused by the caller of defending Aaron Glenn. Right. But then somehow between that and when he had to get out the call letters or the whatever, he just completely – I mean, there's punting and then there's just – he ran into the locker room before the play ended.
Oh, no, that was a butt fumble. Like he just completely ran right into his line and just fell right down. Like that was a face plant. And it was hysterical. And you saw how red he got when we finally went to break. He was so embarrassed because he's such a professional. It made it even funnier.
You're a filth bag.
So can you just? I want to move on now. I don't want to beat up my guy.
Let's go.
But we just play it one last time. I just want to hear it one last time. And
more of your calls and more defending of Glenn on Don LaGreca's show with Alan Hahn.
That was interesting. Boy,
Peter
was
Rosenberg.
I love it. So there's no words for how much I love that. All right, let's get into it. We'll talk a little NBA because the season is starting very soon. And if you have a clip that says 53 seconds, you better only play that once. Don LaGreca is gone. I don't know if we'll need all 53, but we'll find out. Here's Shams Charania on the NBA Today, an update on LeBron James' injury situation.
Malika, I'm told that the Lakers and LeBron are looking at around mid-November as a realistic debut for him, and so October 30th would be the earliest that the Lakers would be officially reevaluating LeBron James, but it is expected he will need at least a few weeks after that point. A source told me tonight that LeBron will be taking a patient approach with this rehab from nerve injury. And so the ramp-up process for this will be a lot of basketball-shaped conditioning work because remember, as I reported last week on NBA Today, LeBron James first suffered this nerve issue during an on-court workout in late July, early August. He wasn't able to have that normal LeBron James offseason that we're accustomed to. And as superhuman as he's been throughout his NBA career, he is turning 41 in December, and he is in year 23. So that's the timeline on LeBron James at some point in November, likely around that mid-November range.
You know, right now, you have two
By the way, I didn't know Shams was doing the show from The Rock.
Yeah, there was some. We love the music that goes underneath all of the TV stuff.
Good Lord.
But look, for LeBron, like we had fun with the fact that it's a sciatica, which is a very old man injury. But in all seriousness, like, you know, it's annoying, and they want to manage it right because, like anybody else, you want LeBron for April, not necessarily October. However, Peter, as we know, this year for the NBA, 2 new networks have joined the fray. One is NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, opening night is October 21st. That's this Tuesday.
To you and me.
And the whole idea was LeBron versus Steph Curry on NBC. NBC's coming back to the NBA. You know, the John Tesh, you know, theme and all, you know, Round Ball Rock, all of it. And now you won't have LeBron. But then on Friday, next Friday, it's the Lakers and the Timberwolves. That's on Prime. Amazon also joining the NBA. So there's already 2 national games he will not be part of right out of the gate. And that's, you know, those are the draws. That's why you do this. You want to have LeBron as much as you can because you just don't know how much LeBron you're going to have left. And so right out of the gate, no LeBron out of the start. That's what that sounds like. And it's something certainly to watch, man. It's Luka's team. He knows it. Everybody knows it. But he hasn't said anything about retirement. But, man, he never gets hurt. This is a very rare thing. But certainly something that might start the process of, are these the last days, whether it's this year or the next year, of LeBron James?
Yeah. Now, if you were the Lakers, Alan, are you always in favor of just being in business with LeBron James if possible, or is there a party that goes, man, I kind of wish there was a way we could move on from the LeBron of it all because he looms so large, and just move on with this next Luka Doncic era?
Oh, I mean, look, the Lakers at this point, if you're a Laker fan, it is about Luka going forward. I think you've had your fill. It sounds so disrespectful, right? Like, I have a great respect for LeBron James, so I never want to act like, you know, it's time to move on from LeBron and move on, because the league is going to miss him when he's gone.
Oh, for sure.
But whatever version it is of LeBron, like, we don't know, especially if he's starting to have this type of stuff going on in his body where it's like nerve issues and stuff. It's a lot of mileage. But, yeah, the Lakers have already made it clear that they're looking now to move into the Luka era. They gave him the contract. The roster's got to go through still some more work before they can be a true championship contender level. But LeBron, like he played last year, with Luka as they anticipate he's going to look like this year with conditioning and everything else, is a formidable team. Luka by himself on that team, not nearly as much.
Now, there was some criticism from Hall of Famer Troy Aikman about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football.
Yep.
And Caleb and head coach Ben Johnson have now responded to Troy Aikman's comments. Here's Coach Johnson.
You want respect in this league, you got to go earn it. And so that's where we're at right now. We need to go earn that respect from not only the rest of the teams in the NFL, but everybody. So that's where we are.
Let's hear if Caleb Williams has the same sort of low-key tact that his head coach has.
Yeah, I could care less. It's kind of how I think I've said multiple times. Over my time being here, fair, life isn't fair. People are going to say what they have to say. We win, we lose. People have stuff to say. It was lucky, it was not lucky. People have stuff to say. Have a bad game, have a good game. You know, people have stuff to say. So it doesn't matter. We're only worried about what's going on here within this building and with these guys. So that's all I can say about that.
I mean, that's the right way to say it, right? Like, just put it that way. People are always going to have something to say. And
well, because it wasn't super specific. It wasn't a specific super criticism to Caleb Williams' game, as you know. It seemed like as much as specifically that there was a lucky play, and it would be hard to have watched that game and not feel that Caleb and the Bears got a bit lucky.
But how do you take that? Like, first of all, let's start with this. It's Troy Aikman. like it's not some schmo that is commenting about you. It's a first of all, not only a decorated player, but a guy who's probably arguably the best analyst in football, right? In the NFL.
Yep.
Of all the analysts, he's really good. And he's always fair. Is he critical? Yes, but you're supposed to be. He has an opinion, a strong one. I don't understand why. Just sometimes you just go, well, that's Troy. Respect him. He's got he's got his opinion. Like you just leave it there instead of the front and the. I can't stand. Cashman did it today too. I'm sure we'll get to it, but it's just always having to put up a fight, always having to defend yourself and to yell back. Sometimes just just acknowledge it, especially when it's coming from a source like a guy like Troy Aikman. Troy's an all-time great, man. Like, I'll take heed to anything he has to say.
But the thing is, I can't find. Was there anything more specific that he said about his game besides a play being lucky?
Not that I really think it was just about a lucky catch or a lucky play. I don't know. But
for DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
He said he needed to do a better job of where he was throwing the ball to his receivers to allow them to gain more yards after the catch.
Yeah, but he said it was luck on their part. It's I don't know.
That's critical, though.
Not that. Come on.
Say the quote one more time,
mild.
Anthony. Do a better job of where he was throwing the ball to his receivers to allow them to gain more yards. Now, by the way, here's the thing, Anthony. Thank you for finding that part. I'm stupid because that is even all the more reason, Alan, that you might prefer that Caleb acknowledged that. Like that is valid criticism from a Hall of Fame quarterback potentially. Now, if you disagree with it, okay. But like it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to say, "Hey man, that's Troy Aikman. I guess there are things I got to do a little bit better."
Yeah, if he's got something to say, I'll listen to him. Like it's almost like if you really want to hold it, you want to say something, say, everybody has something to say, but when someone like Troy Aikman says it, I'll give it a little more credence.
He did the opposite. He said everybody says stuff.
Yeah,
everybody. It wasn't
like roping him in as everybody else. That's the part.
It wasn't Cam Newton on a podcast. It wasn't like a random TikToker. It was Troy Aikman during Monday Night Football saying you're not helping your receivers out. You got to put the ball in front of them.
Hey,
so they can
here's
run.
something I'm noticing, and then says it. Okay, like I don't get it, but today it's become more and more common to almost to push back, to fight back, to clap back, as they say, instead of just accept the criticism and keep it moving.
I haven't said very much about this since Monday because I really try my best. I know it may surprise some people to not overdo it with the commie talk.
Oh, wait a minute.
But I have to.
This commie hour brought to you by.
But I have to tell you, did you see Jaden's comments after the loss?
Refresh my memory. It was a few days ago.
He just completely owned the drop, the fumble.
Yes. Yes, I did.
I'll just say this. This respectfully to Caleb Williams. My quarterback always says the right thing every single time. I don't want to hear about anyone else. I get paid to catch the football. Don't talk to me about the conditions. I don't care that it's wet. It's my job. I failed. I won't do it next time. Like
how hard
some people are just built for it differently. Apparently, Alan, I guess it's hard.
It can't be that hard
because not many do it that well. Not that many do it that well.
But you know what though? When you're comfortable in your own skin, right? When you are comfortable in your situation, you own that moment. And Caleb Williams is still kind of learning his way and trying to prove himself. And he has faced a ton of criticism, as you know. At SC, he faced it, and he has faced it in his first year in the NFL, right? This year, having a little success. But I still think he feels like I have these people that are always going to criticize me. He's so used to it. I don't know how much your guy has received a ton of criticism publicly. It doesn't really, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit easier for him to take that versus Caleb, who's, kind of probably getting sick of the haters, right?
Fair. Okay. Jaden has sort of exceeded expectations.
Right.
Caleb has been on the fence of his expectations. And
he's always been
I'm sure.
Heisman guy, number one pick. Like this, you're at USC. There's a lot of things with Caleb Williams that he's already was put on a pedestal and then criticized for not being as great as we all thought you're supposed to be right out of the gate.
But remember, Caleb came in asking for some of those things too. Wasn't it Caleb who wanted the ownership deal before he was even signed?
It was also right. Where am I going to play? Asking questions. Yeah, I know there was some of that.
Yeah, he's brought a little bit upon himself.
But But I'm with you. You're right. The easiest thing to do sometimes in life is to just have self accountability, and keep it moving, rather than constantly punching back. Especially when the criticism comes from somebody in the industry that you should hold in high regard because he played your position at the highest level and he's got rings on his fingers to prove it.
Now, I want to tell you something that I've figured out in my life recently, and it's brilliant. It's Amazon Pickup, all right? It's the ultimate convenience play.
It is.
We know that Amazon is part of your life. Everyone's got Amazon. If you're like me, your wife is ordering, 10, 15 things a day, it seems like, from Amazon. Mm-hmm. But Amazon Pickup takes it to the next level. If you're pressed for time and you're on the go like me, you can choose to send your orders straight to a secure pickup location that works for you. Amazon lockers and counters are located near you no matter where your day takes you. The package is ready when you are. Life never slows down. So instead of worrying about schedules and will you be there in time, the package will be waiting for you. So if you're like me, you got a baby at home, you're running around, you're on the move, Amazon Pickup gives you that flexibility to grab what you need throughout your day, okay? It's that easy. Here's what you do. When you order online at Amazon, at checkout, you just choose the pickup location that's most convenient. You'll get an email confirmation when it's ready with instructions to pick it up. All right, it's quick, secure, and always at no extra cost. Check it out for yourself. Go to Amazon.com/pickupmvp to learn more. That's Amazon.com/pickupmvp. Now, a couple of weeks ago, the MVP in my world that everyone was talking about was Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who rushed for 150 yards, a couple touchdowns, rookie of the week. Everything's amazing. Alan, the running back position is insane. You put the football on the ground, and you can go from being everyone's favorite player to, if you do it one more time, are you going to be benched for the rest of the season? Yep. I mean, there's almost nothing like it in sports where it can turn on its head so quickly. And right now, the man of the moment when it comes to that position here in New York is, of course, Cam Skattebo. Here is Skattebo on the headbutt celebration with his quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, just craziness. Just me and him being crazy, being friends. It's just something he has to throw the ball with his right hand, and I have a little, sometimes from stiff arming, my right hand will bother me or be bruised up, so I'm we just start headbutting. It's just something that you naturally do when you have a helmet on.
And what about the backflips after the touchdowns, young man?
I mean, athletes are athletes. I mean, if you get hurt doing a backflip, and I've been doing it my whole life, and I've, knock on wood, never been hurt doing it. So I try to keep it as safe as possible. Try not to do too many turns and flips. So
yes, Alan, sorry, you were saying.
Again, that friend, the Batman line. This town needs an enema. I mean, that's what this is, and it's hard to. It's hard to frown at it, although I think there are a lot of people that the headbutt thing. There's a label on that helmet. The NFL helmet, Peter. Bart had his in the studio, and I pulled it off the shelf one time, and he said, read the warning label. It comes with a warning label on the back.
Not do that.
Well, it just talks about how the helmet, it does not protect you from everything you think it protects you from, and that they are not liable when you put this helmet on. You are liable for everything. You are making the choice. If I just can water it down from all the legalese, that's what the warning label says on an actual game helmet. And so when they're doing it, while we all laugh, we think it's funny, there is this sense of those of us who are older and understand that there is CTE in the world, that this stuff does exist, and you just cringe like Bud, you've got too much ahead of you. And I know you're all jacked up on Mountain Dew, but just don't do that, especially to the quarterback.
It's more than headbutts, too. It's the way Skattebo plays every down. Here's Cam Skattebo on the physical way that he plays.
I think that's just from loving the game. I mean, I simply love the game, and I'm a big, strong guy, so why not be physical doing it? You don't expect a guy like me to go run past somebody at 20 miles an hour. This is not. Why would I try to play like that if that's not me,
It's right.
Have you seen any of the videos going around on the internet? I'm not going to lie, they've been making me laugh. It'll say an interview with Cam Skattebo in 5 years, and it's Beetlejuice from Howard Stern.
No,
can you spell? And he's like L-O. He's got to be. Listen,
but look, he's leaning into what he is. He's not trying to pretend. Here's the problem with guys like him. They know, he knows. I'm going to enjoy this while I can because I know this is fleeting. Dart should have a 10-year career. But Scadaboo probably kind of knows deep down, like, this isn't going to last, right? So he's enjoying every moment. It's what he is, and he's all about it. What else is he going to do? He's not going to outrun people. He knows he knows he's a battering ram.
No, listen, as long as he stays in shape and stays jacked up and is as smart as he can be, that's what he is.
He's having fun with it. And you know what?
God.
Let him backflip. Go for it, baby. Have fun.
I will tell you, though, of all the random friends who have reached out to our show and given us any bit of words, and I'm very apt to repeat those things on the air, me randomly hearing this summer from my friend Puck, who I haven't talked to in years, and the last time I knew him didn't have a lick of interest in football. Moved to Arizona, became like a gun-toting hunter who now loves football.
Wow.
And is like, you guys, have you seen Cam Scadaboo yet? We love him out here. You're going to love Scadaboo. Oh, wait till New York gets their eyes on Scadaboo. It's the most right anyone's ever been about any little pickup they've given. The kid, he's a star overnight.
Could this franchise need anything more than that? Right? This buttoned-up, boring franchise. Again, you go from Eli, God bless him. You go from Daniel Jones, who was very much the same personality. You know, they have been this sort of Eeyore-type franchise.
That's disrespectful
over the last couple of years. And you add this little brashness, little Bash Brothers kind of personality from Mighty Ducks, you'll take it. You'll enjoy it. Love it. Enjoy. But also know, Cam, by the way, Cam, just don't hit the quarterback in the head, please. Like, he's a really big part of what we're doing here.
Hey,
let's not do a Gus Farrat to each other, right?
No,
I know that hits
certainly not every score. Yeah, it does. Certainly not after every score. If you were thinking about hiring Curt Cignetti for something like head coach of Penn State, that's out. He is re-signed with Indiana. 8 years, $93 million.
Smart.
Yes, the year is 2025. Indiana has one of the best football teams in the country, and they now have a $93 million head coach. That'll do it for ENN on this Thursday evening. Oh, thank you.
Nicely done. Oh, that's right. Only one guy clapping today. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's sad. So well, Don might be clapping along to some music.
That'd be great. Listen.
Thanks, Anthony.
How much Devils are you watching tonight because of Donnie? I think with the home crowd, I think his call is going to be a little bit more like he's going to take it up an octave.
Well, I will say this: I have to travel down to Orlando tonight.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
By the time we get on the air tomorrow, Anthony, Jacob, I need every Don call loaded up.
I've seen a lot of The Rock already tonight.
We've heard a lot of The Rock tonight too.
You're all set. You're all set.